everybody pressed a little bit in that Mississippi State game. And what have we seen since? Devin Leary played clean, productive football here. 12 touchdowns, no picks in the
design runs, quarterback scrambles. I think it's something that you have to be really, concerned about. At the same time, he's got a really strong arm, can attack all areas of the field.
6'3", 210 out of Jacksonville, Florida. He's going to fire on first down. It's tipped and incomplete. It's going to be tipped by Noah Taylor. 6'5", 235-pounder. Tough to get it around him under the best of circumstances.
Yeah, and I think when you look at Virginia defensively, they've had a history of these really long defenders, and Noah Taylor kind of fits that bill at 6'5", and in these RPOs, getting your hands up in the throwing lanes is critical.
Gibbs takes the handoff, trying to take the center of that line, and he is stacked up and pushed back by Virginia. Georgia Tech coming into the contest at 3-3 with a 2-2 record in the ACC. Following a bye week and coming off a 31-27 win at Duke. 3rd down and 8 coming up. Jordan Mason now in the backfield for the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. So a test right away at 3rd and long for Sims. Time in the pocket. He'll rifle that one and complete for a first down and plenty more after the catch. And a run there by Sanders, who had a huge catch in their victory against Duke, a 36-yard touchdown reception. It
says Donica Sanders, they think he's their best route runner, does a nice job of pushing vertical, throwing on the brakes, and then really well-timed throw, a little bit inside, but good job of coming back to the football, having strong hands by Sanders.
Sims missed the better part of 3 games to start the season after an arm injury in the opener. But he has returned, and he has had some big moments. And on the rumble, here's Jordan Mason, a power back, the big junior, 6'1", about 220.
And I think you mentioned it, power back, Dave. Jordan Mason is the downhill runner. He's a load. I think that's how Georgia Tech wants to run at Virginia, not side to side, but right at them.
So first down 10. Yellow Jackets moving the chains early. Sims wants to throw, plenty of time to do it, throwing deep, heading for the end zone, and a touchdown. The catch made by McGowan, Kyrick McGowan, the Northwestern graduate, and talk about a quick strike for Georgia Tech.
Quick strike is right, and Jeff Sims does a really nice job of seeing it. McGowan's running the deep over and makes an excellent throw as Devontae Cross is trying to kind of fall back on it. You see, just speed up through the field, and good job of throwing it and running him away from Devontae Cross, who's playing the safety position.
Kyrick McGowan from 36 yards into the end zone and quieting the crowd, which hasn't all found their seats yet. And Brent Simaglia, the transfer from Tennessee, on for the extra point. And Georgia Tech getting out of the gate, to say the least, with an impressive drive. I mean, McGowan turned and kind of had to wait a couple of seconds to make that catch. He had beaten everyone so badly. That makes it 7-0, the Yellow Jackets.
Well, Georgia Tech wanted Jeff Sims to cut it loose, and on the opening drive, he does just that as they get out on top.
.40 in, and Georgia Tech already ahead here in Virginia. 7-0, 5 plays and 75 yards.
Quick strike, couple big plays and a couple big throws by Jeff Sims to start this one off.
So Stewart to kick off here for the Yellow Jackets. Billy Kemp back at the 2-yard line, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And we bring on Brennan Armstrong. Just a sensational year so far. Started out as a backup to Bryce Perkins for 2 years. Gets his chance this season. And look at what he has done. More passing yards than anybody in FBS. Nearly 3,000. He's been off the charts, not getting a whole lot of attention. For example, the Heisman Trophy, a lot of major awards. He's not being talked about right now.
Which is crazy when you see 4 games with over 400 yards passing. He's been incredible passing the football.
That'll go for Kemp. Kemp trying that right side. And tied up on the first play. Armstrong was added to the Manning Award watch list just this week. Getting some recognition. That honor going to the best quarterback in the nation. and came in leading the ACC, came into this weekend in passing yards by almost 900. Remarkable. Got 1 yard on the first. 2nd and 9 for the left-hander. And got that pass free somehow and complete. And a completed pass to Thompson. That'll gain just 1 yard, however. Take a look.
And Dave, you said it. Got that pass away somehow. That's part of being an efficient passer, is finding ways when things are, there's static around you, which there certainly was there with the pressure from Ivy, but still able to get the ball out to Keaton Thompson. And it's plays like that that help your offensive efficiency.
Armstrong has thrown for 300 yards in 6 out of 7 games. Many times far greater than that. He's had a 500-yarder as well in a loss at North Carolina. 3rd and 8, trying to step up. Flag down as he is dragged down shy of the 30-yard line. Taken down by Charlie Thomas, the middle linebacker, but flag in the play. And about 12 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Georgia Tech. Jeff Heiser, the referee.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 70. Penalties decline. Results of the play, 4th down.
That's on Bobby Haskins.
There's Haskins, the left tackle. He's kind of getting bull rushed, and as he got bull rushed, he kind of sticks his hands up and grabs the face mask of Jordan Dominic. I will say the pass rush for Georgia Tech, they haven't got a ton of sacks, but I do feel like they've been disruptive to the quarterback.
So Jacob Finn in to punt. And Ray back at his 21-yard line. Trying to get free, still trying, dragged down at the 20. That's a 52-yard kick.
Now you go back to the touchdown pass, and what's surprising is how aggressive. You just look at this. This is going to be essentially zero coverage, man across the board with no help anywhere deep. And I just have to say, that's a surprising play call for me defensively. When you think about Virginia and some of the things that have ailed them, it's been giving up the big play. And, I think there's an element of, hey, let's force Georgia Tech to sustain drives. But if you essentially play man across the board with no deep help, you will give up big plays in the passing game.
Gibbs straight on and got to the 25-yard line. Palmui with the tackle after a 4-yard pickup. And we talked to Dave Patino, the offensive coordinator for the Yellow Jackets, right before their season opener. We asked him about this point in the season, what would you want to have people talking about your offense? He said, I hope people are saying we are up-tempo and well-balanced as an offense. And there's a drop on the play. In and out of the hands of Kalani Norris. He had a catch to make. He just didn't make it.
He didn't make it. And, in terms of their balance, I do think they have pretty good balance. And this is a perfectly thrown ball right into the chest of Norris. And even had a little bit of room to run if he can hold on to that.
Norris, a sophomore out of Miami. So 3rd and 6 is on 3rd down. They had a touchdown strike moments ago. Sims, time to rifle that one and complete to McCollum. McCollum breaks free. He makes a first. Dave McCollum, 5'11", about $180, just a freshman.
Yeah, and the corner blitz came from Jeff Sims' right, and he gets the ball out on time, and then just a bad job of tackling by Virginia defensively, and McCollum able to break a tackle and pick up the 1st down.
Yellow Jackets on the move. Sims going to keep it, and he heads for the sideline before he steps out. And short, or did he make the 1st down? He did make the 1st down. I made 8 yards on that carry.
When you see his speed, Dave, I mean, the ability to turn the corner, which he does there, and you can see why you can't just chase Jahmyr Gibbs or Jordan Mason in the backfield, because Sims such a threat to keep it.
2nd and short. Leonard, the tight end, in motion. Sims wants to keep it again. A crunching hit. He took a nasty pop there. Josh Ahern laid it on him. This gains only 1 yard.
Yeah, and he just does a good job, Aaron does, of reading it and See him just play over the top, and that's a big hit on Jeff Sims, and Sims a pretty big guy. See the power of Aaron on tackle.
3rd and short. Jordan Mason back in there, the power back for the Yellow Jackets. Sims out of the shotgun. Will run it himself and dives ahead and picks up a 1st down. And Faamui eventually with a stop, but picking up a hard-earned yard. Sims with 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So occasionally, as we mentioned at the top, he will give a defense a chance.
He will. He's struggled sometimes at just going the wrong place with it. It's hurt them. But I think that the dynamic playmaking ability has them sticking with him.
Going to run it again and slide ahead. Sims so cagey, 6'3", 210 pounds, native of Jacksonville, Florida, will gain 7.
There's not a lot of guys that have his ability as a runner. You saw the shake a little bit as he kind of got into the secondary, that can also throw it the way that he can throw it. I think it really just comes down to decision making for him.
2nd down and 3. Lobs that pass for Gibbs. Gibbs, a very good pass catcher, makes a big 1st down. And another serious gain here for the Yellow Jackets.
It's a nice job on the screen call here. It's just a cross screen where the back comes across the quarterback's face, and they don't even do a very good job of blocking it in the open field, but Gibbs catches the football and just decides to get north. Nice pickup.
One of the best all-around running backs in the ACC. He's their number 2 receiver as well. And another carry as he'll try and pull away from a couple of tacklers. He tried to move ahead close to the 20-yard line, and he's going to gain 8 on that carry.
To me, Virginia is reeling defensively. I mean, I think guys, hands on their hips, looking for the sideline for the call, getting late, down into their stances late. Almost the tempo is getting them so quickly.
Sims on to keep and nudged out. And it took a pretty good spill as he went in among the cheerleaders for Virginia. And a cheerleader does go down as Sims went out of bounds, picking up 6 yards. And certainly hope that she is okay. But he picks up a 1st down.
Yes, he gets pushed out of bounds, he just kind of stumbles. And the scary thing about it is he kind of comes down on top of her.
1st down and 10. Yellow Jackets trying to take control of this one early. Already 7 up on the board, going for the end zone again. And that one is going to be intercepted. A flag down on the play. Joey Blount picks it off, racing down that right sideline after the pick. And that is the 8th of his career. The senior from Atlanta, but a flag was dropped on that play. He did return it 40 yards after the interception in the end zone. But a flag drop.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 7. Automatic 1st down.
The call's on Noah Taylor, and these ones, no one likes seeing these. I mean, it's one of these situations where the forcible contact is the part where it's just unsure. I mean, his hands are up because he's trying to bat the football, and his hand comes down and hits Jeff Sims in the head. Like, I love protecting the quarterbacks, but these are called roughing the passers, Dave, and I just don't know that that's really the spirit of what they're trying to get done.
Brings it 1st and goal, a crushing penalty for Virginia. The fans continue to boost. Sims trying for the end zone, got inside the 5-yard line. On a quarterback keep, stopped by Mandy Alonso, picking up 5.
Listen, that's a brutal injury for Virginia, penalty for Virginia, because look, that stop and then getting the football where they would get it is critical. Now you end up giving them a 1st down inside the 10-yard line, and with a quarterback that can run, it's hard to defend this.
It's Dante Smith. He's going to dive in for the touchdown. Dante Smith, the sophomore, from 3 yards, and the boos continue to rain down here in Charlottesville. But a 3-yard rumble for Smith. And Georgia Tech looking terrific here in the 1st quarter.
Just been an offensive explosion for them, certainly aided by the penalty, but Jeff Sims looking fairly comfortable, and then their ability to run the ball when people are expecting them to run it, it's proven to be a problem for Virginia, a team that has really struggled all season long to stop the run.
12 plays, 79 yards, just over 5 minutes on that drive. Brent Simaglia on for the extra point, and it's going to be blocked. A deflection. So they deny the point after, but they 6 yards.
They've had them in some favorable third downs and just haven't been able to get it done. And then obviously a roughing the passer penalty gives Georgia Tech life inside. And Nick Howell, who we just saw kind of talking to that defense, got to be searching for answers a little bit because they haven't been able to stop people from running it, and they've given up big plays in the passing game.
Well, Virginia suddenly very early in the game, they need number 5. They need Brennan Armstrong to be the Superman that he has been in the 2021 season.
Yeah, and at a minimum, just sustain a drive a little bit to keep them off the field so they can regroup on defense.
Armstrong, the 4-time ACC quarterback of the week. And that's going to be a tough catch and pretty good traffic for a first down. And picked up by Dontayvion Wicks, who has really become their #1 receiver.
Yeah, he's become their #1 receiver. Look at this throw by Brennan Armstrong, though. Does a good job. You mentioned the traffic of fitting it into a tight window, and he's done a lot of that this season where he's fitted into small areas to find the completion.
Armstrong under pressure, a high pass, and that one intended for Billy Kemp, but over the 5'9" receiver.
Well, you mentioned under pressure, Dave, and it's been QB disruption. If you look at the sack numbers for Georgia Tech, they're not great, but I think they affected Brennan Armstrong there, and that's really, the key. You look at some of the games where Armstrong has just gone off throwing the football. A lot of it has been because he's been given a ton of time to throw it.
He's going to run. He's going to take a pounding, but he's also going to pick up a first down. Look for maybe that to become a bigger factor tonight. He's been wearing that knee brace after a knee injury. They feel that has slowed up the running game, which is big for him.
It's huge for him. And Dave, I think that's the best I've seen him run the football since the Illinois game in terms of looking like he has some of his speed back. Yes, he is wearing that knee brace, but looked a little bit more explosive as a runner on that run.
That goes for 17, back in the pocket. Quickly off to Kemp on the near sideline and chased out. Billy Kemp, the reception, 151 career catches, a 7-yard reception there. He has had a really fine career for the Cavaliers, trying for their 4th consecutive win. They blasted Duke here last Saturday, 48-0, to have 2nd place in the Coastal Division, all to themselves, behind Pitt coming into play. Pitt with a huge win against Clemson today. Armstrong heading for the sideline, now cutting back inside, and a first down.
Brennan Armstrong kind of gets stuck with the football after looking to his right. Look down here. Dontayvion Wicks basically going to get free as Armstrong starts to scramble. Just throw your hands up and keep running. Instead, he starts and comes back to the quarterback. If he stays up the field, I think Armstrong sees him and maybe throws him a touchdown pass.
So Thompson now in the game. Keaton Thompson as the quarterback. As he takes the snap, he can be a load to handle just like this, hit after hit. He takes it all the way to the 15-yard line for a first down before Thomas finally stacks him up.
When you look at Thompson, he's got a cast on his left wrist, but carrying the football in his right hand, running left. But he's hard to tackle, almost runs straight up and down, but when people try to tackle him up high, they can't get him to the ground. He breaks about 3 tackles on that run right there.
6'4", 210. As you said, playing with a broken hand. And he's actually a very gifted receiver, too. Onto the sideline. It's Kemp finally pushed out. Billy Kemp with the reception, and Armstrong going to him often.
I think the thing that makes Brennan Armstrong unique, did you see that play right there? Boom, ball's out so quickly on time, right to Billy Kemp. Then other times, kind of knows when he has time to hold on to the football, let the play develop a little bit. Kind of an interesting knack for when you've got to play quickly or when you have time to let things develop.
2nd down 1 on the 7-yard line. Virginia knocking on the door, trying to get on the scoreboard. Armstrong rifles that one inside the 3-yard line and just pushed out. Keaton Thompson. Tariq Carter saved a touchdown.
Yeah, they're looking to just kind of get a pick, just run a little bit of an out route by Thompson, and you can see why they like getting him the football. We saw him do it when they handed them football, and that's a nice catch on a ball that was a little outside the framework of his body.
So 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. Talapapa in there, but they're going to go airborne, and a touchdown. It's Kemp as he scampers into the end zone. A 1-yard touchdown reception, and the Cavaliers are on the board.
It's a really nice drive. These guys should be excited about what they just saw because the quarterback is dealing, and Robert and I, the offensive coordinator, is definitely in a rhythm in terms of how they are spreading the football around and keeping this Georgia Tech defense off balance.
9 plays, 75 yards. Took a little over 3.5 minutes. Brennan Farrell taken over as the kicker here in the last several games. And dead on with the extra point to make it 13-7.
Many different ways. He's kind of their fly sweep guy, plays inside, but they find all kinds of ways to get him the football, and he's been productive with it throughout his career.
Let's go down to Kelsey.
Well, guys, this Virginia defense was definitely caught off guard by the way this game started. One of their secondary players, Anthony Johnson, came over and he said, look, it's okay. That's all they get. We can turn things around. And then their defensive line coach, Coach Sinham, he was really fired up. He said, look, we'll be all right. We got to have some confidence, and we've got to be able to respond on our side of the ball. The offense will take care of what they'll take care of. When we get back on the field, we have to respond. And, guys, he said that at the beginning of the drive. They did respond.
So 13-7, the Yellow Jackets with the football again. It'll be Gibbs straight ahead. Jahmyr Gibbs, Georgia Tech's leading rusher, #2 receiver, and #1 kick returner. He's a busy man for them.
He is a busy man. He's a really talented player, and I think Dave Patnode wants to make sure that he gets at least 20 touches in every game he plays in.
He's also caught 18 passes along with all the rushing duties this season. And he'll stay on the ground yet again. And a stop by Nick Jackson. He's really having an excellent year. He had 4 tackles for a loss against Duke, 4 double-digit tackle games this season. They are 3 for 3 on 3rd down. 3rd and 1 coming up now for the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. Final 2 minutes of the opening quarter here in Charlottesville. Sims to take it and diving ahead for 1st down.
It's 2 times now that we've seen these 3rd and 1 situations. Georgia Tech go with a design quarterback run to have a number advantage in the run game. It's also the 2nd time Virginia defensively has basically completely sold out. They've had essentially everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Would not surprise me to get a 3rd and short later in this football game and see Georgia Tech take a shot down the field.
Jordan Mason now the running back. This is the 9th 1st down already in a contest for the Yellow Jackets. Sims wants to put it in the air. Dancing and firing short. Dumped it off here for the running back. Mason will spin on that sideline and grab another 1st before King, the cornerback, stopped him, and that's a 17-yard pickup.
It's a nice pickup, and it's a good job of Jeff Sims. He wants to throw the over route, but I don't think he feels like he has a window there to P.J. Harris. And so as he thinks about escaping to his left, sees Mason, his check down, his outlet valve, and sometimes checking the football down can lead to big plays like it does right there for Mason.
Virginia with a player down, and cannot tell who that is from our vantage point. 1:02 to go in the 1st, and that is Mandy Alonso, the senior from Miami, and a very, very important guy for the defense for Virginia. 6'2", 285. Good to see Mandy Alonso on his feet. And off he comes. And Virginia cannot be long without him. We'll find out in a moment what that injury is, but off he comes.
You know, he's an experienced player and, you know, a bit of a leader on that defensive line, and the way people have run the football against Virginia be helpful for UVA if they can get him back.
Now Georgia Tech in Virginia territory again on a play action. They're going to go to the tight end. Dylan Leonard dragged down as we look back to the Alonso injury a moment ago.
And here he is over here. He's just trying to rush Jeff Sims, and it just looks on that spin. It's caught up.
2nd down and 8. Smith on a carry. Nick Jackson with the tackle. They keep on moving the football and moving the sticks. That's an 8-yard scamper, bringing up 1st down and 10.
The efficiency that Georgia Tech's running this football with has got to be concerning, because Virginia has been selling out to stop the run, and Georgia Tech still having success.
Got the playoff for the end of the quarter. Sims rifles that one to McGowan. And that is their 12th first down at the end of the first quarter. Is that ever impressive? That last one picks up 11 yards. Georgia Tech moving the football here in Charlottesville. They're on top 13-7 as we get ready for the second quarter here on a Saturday night.
Lots of good topics, lots of good guests today.
Brown, come for more than the game. Come for it all.
Well, this is rather noteworthy. Georgia Tech, we haven't played a second of the second quarter. Tim, they've already run 24 plays.
On pace for 96 plays? You kidding me?
Leading at 13-7. And Gibbs makes a little more out of the catch as they continue to make one first down after another. That one goes for 8 yards.
And you see the way they like to get Gibbs the football. They hand it to him, they throw him a screen, they throw him a swing screen there, and then Kyrick McGowan, who's blocking on the perimeter, did an awesome job of cutting Noah Taylor to give Gibbs some running room.
Jahmyr Gibbs, the freshman from Dalton, Georgia, he is some weapon. So Sims on 2nd down and 2, and it's Gibbs again. And ahead for a first. Stopped by Noah Taylor. Back to that last play.
Look at McGowan here, the block he gets. The Northwestern transfer, the coaches have raved about him. Kind of an unselfishness. He's been a tremendous receiver. And that is a great cut block on a linebacker by McGowan, who has allowed Jahmyr Gibbs an opportunity to kind of keep going on his night. But McGowan, a guy that he's been good catching the football down the field, in the slot, handing it to him, and also blocking on the perimeter.
First down's piling up for Sims out of the pocket for the end zone, but incomplete. A diving attempt there by P.J. Harris, covered by Anthony Johnson in the end zone.
I think he kind of has a shot at P.J. Harris here, coming off the play action. You see Harris get his body inside and just doesn't actually do a great job of bending to the football. No one in the middle of the field, and the quarterback leads you in there. You should beat the defender inside.
On the 14-yard line, 2nd and 10. It's Gibbs cutting back to the center and got across the 10-yard line. King with a tackle after a 5-yard gain. Yellow Jackets were 3-7 last year during the pandemic, finishing 11th in the ACC at 3-6. This year's schedule ranked among the toughest in the country. In fact, at one point ranked number 2 in difficulty. But tonight, a victory would put them over 500 for the first time in a while. They are 4 for 4 on 3rd down. 3rd down 5. Early moments of the second quarter. Sims, and off of McGowan's fingertips. Had a great chance to make a catch Could not do it. Brings up 4th and 5.
It's a great play call by Dave Patino. They get all out blitzed. McGowan is wide open, out breaking route versus inside leverage coverage, and it's a perfect throw by Jeff Sims. And McGowan, who, I was just raving about, just drops it. In fact, there's a chance he may end up scoring if he ends up catching that football.
Thought so too. This will be a 26-yard field goal attempt for Brent Sinaglia. And looking to give the Yellow Jackets a 16-7 lead. And it is good.
Well, the Virginia defense holds with a bit of an assist from McGowan. They're fighting back.
Season right around the corner. We have nothing but nets. The men's season preview show coming up Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Extensive breakdowns of all 15 teams right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. One tap. Nobody covers the ACC like we do. We cannot wait for college basketball season. Virginia always a huge factor nationally and in the ACC. Kemp with a chance. And behind blockers, he's going to run it to the sideline across the 20. Finds a bit of an opening. Flags down as he goes out across the 30-yard line. But the flags flying. 12:47 to go here in the second. 16-7 Georgia Tech. Been kind of a dominant performance so far by the Yellow Jackets offense.
Holding. Return team number 26. 10-yard penalty. First down. Virginia.
You go back to that last drive, Keaton Thompson, who wears number 99, and you've got to be a versatile player if you're going to play on offense and wear 99. They snap it to him on the direct snap, then they play him in the slot, makes a nice catch outside the framework of his body, and then how about blocking on the perimeter? They list him as a football player, and that drive alone, you can see why.
I think Keaton actually escorted us up to the broadcast booth tonight. He can do everything. Anything they ask him to do, he is your man. A remarkable career. Just the football players you mentioned. That's how he's listed on the depth chart. Plays at quarterback, running back, and wide out. That's to get started tonight.
And he's doing it with a cast on his left hand. And it's really been fun to watch.
Armstrong slings that one. Taulapapa out of the backfield. And stopped by Charlie Thomas. It's been a very tough place for Georgia Tech to play over the years. The Yellow Jackets have actually lost 12 of their last 14 games played at Scott Stadium, but they have the upper hand so far tonight. 5-yard pickup brings up 3rd down and 4. Man in motion, Starling, the wideout. Armstrong to throw again. And a gorgeous pass, and he's going to hit Thompson to pick up a first down. Wesley Walker wrapping him up with a 14-yard gain.
You mentioned it. It's a gorgeous pass. He's going to run a sail route. It's basically going to, slow bend to the corner. And, Keaton Thompson, who we keep talking about, I mean, that ball is dropped in there, but I just feel like the more I watch him, the better and more comfortable he gets at actually just playing wide receiver, a position that's still fairly new to him.
Armstrong on the keep. Trying for the first. He breaks free. Still up. Heading for the 30. The 20. Finally, they drag him down. Brennan Armstrong, the quarterback. Wesley Walker prevents a touchdown as he ties him up. A huge gain for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it just ends up being, zone read, fake to the back, and then he's going to end up cutting this inside. Does a good job of reading the block of his right tackle. And then I said it earlier, the burst that we saw from Armstrong as a runner earlier in this football game, I hadn't seen in a while. You see him with that knee brace on, but certainly had a burst there as he got up the field and was hard to track down.
45 yards. He's got Thompson in the backfield. He wants to throw it, though. The southpaw will throw that one away. Off into the flat. Nobody home there. Good pressure there by Kevin Harris. Brings up 2nd and 10.
They took a shot right after the long quarterback run. I think sometimes that's hard. People need to understand, like, big quarterback run, you know, you're exhausted. You can't barely catch your breath. Then you have to call a play. Then, oh, by the way, they're looking for you to complete a pass. I think Brennan Armstrong is happy to throw that one incomplete and try to get some air back in his lungs.
He had some game against North Carolina. He threw for over 550 yards. He had 11 different receivers in that one game. Talapapa. He can be tough to drag down on the first hit. He is a 1,000-yard career rusher, stopped by Quez Jackson, top tackler.
I'm glad you said that about Talapapa. I mean, in years past, almost tried to run the offense through him. You know, because they kind of trusted him. He's a versatile player, but he's kind of had to take a back seat to this passing game. But they do still have the ability to run the football.
3rd and 5 on the 13-yard line. Armstrong for the end zone. High catch and a tremendous grab by Wicks in the end zone for 6. Dontayvion Wicks with a great athletic catch in that end zone to beat the defense, beating Zamari Walton and Jalen King.
Yeah, and Brennan Armstrong, you see that right there? Fade. That's the fade signal rubbing on the side of his head because he saw the coverage pre-snap. He said, inside leverage off. I'm going to my man, Dontayvion Wicks, and giving him a chance to get his hands on the ball. That's an awesome job of seeing it by Brennan Armstrong and a great job of giving his receiver a chance. And then obviously, outstanding play by Wicks.
Now Wicks, the number 2 receiver in terms of yards in the ACC. And Farrell up and good with the point after. Quite an answer there, too, for the Cavaliers.
It is quite an answer because it's a quarterback that's seeing things perfectly and also delivering a strike.
First half, but had 3 turnovers in the second half to let that turn the other way. Georgia Tech winning the ACC championship. And it'll be brought out to the 25-yard line. And they wound up sharing the national championship Georgia Tech did with Colorado that year.
It was a remarkable season all the way around. One, how both these programs, their seasons took a turn in the opposite direction, and then the year, obviously, that Georgia Tech had, that Colorado team that they shared it with was about as impressive of a team as I can really remember seeing.
Well, Georgia Tech with drives of 75, 79, and 66 yards. And moving the football at will. Sims and incomplete, intended for Nate McCollum, but off his hands. Let's go back down to Kelsey for more on Alonso.
Well, guys, good to see Mandy Alonso back on the field for this Virginia defense. Certainly a key part of what they do there. He was in the tent for a really long time. Looked like he was limping on his left leg, and they actually took his knee brace off. They did some work to it outside of the tent and then went back in. He got a little jog, and as I said, he's a key part of this defense on and off the field, the leadership aspect. So good to see him back.
Just came off after one play, 2nd down 10. And we'll see if the Ramblin' Wreck continues to roll. They are going to continue to roll. Mason in the open field. And got across the 45-yard line before Nick Grant stopped him.
It's basically like a pump draw. They you know, kind of look like they're going to throw the football out to the flat and then hand the football to Mason and nearly fumbled the exchange.
Went for 21. And getting close to the 50-yard line. Back to that play.
Yeah, it's basically like a pump draw. Look, they're going to throw the football out here, but it's Mason coming in on a delay. But watch the handoff because of the timing of it. Takes a little while, and lucky to hold on to it, but then nice pickup.
Mason, 3rd team all ACC as a sophomore. And this time McCollum short to handle the pass as he goes out into the Virginia bench, but picks up a 1st down. And Cochran a little bit nicked up on the play. Devin Cochran, former Vanderbilt offensive line for Georgia Tech. Cochran going off at 6'7". And Ryan Johnson, his replacement, is 6'6", 305.
And Johnson has just moved over from the right side to now play the left side. Bit of musical chairs.
Another 1st down moments ago for the Yellow Jackets. On the ground, Mason. Mason with a burst of speed. carrying some people with him. Eventually stopped by Noah Taylor, but that's a 9-yard run.
An impressive 9-yard run, just going at Virginia. And Jack Coco, the tight end kind of slash fullback, did a nice job of leading the way.
Second quarter, and a 2-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. But they have had the football a lot longer so far tonight than the Cavaliers have. Mason spun around across the 30-yard line. He's going to pick up another first down and 3 yards on that carry.
You just see the inability to hold up against the run for Virginia. Came into the game last in the ACC against the run, giving up over 188 yards. And just look at Jordan Mason's night tonight. He's been the power back, but averaging nearly a first down every time he runs with it.
Yeah, and Jahmyr Gibbs is the all-purpose back. And he's back in there. Sims in the pocket, throws, and it's going to be picked off. Intercepted by Blount. He gets another one, his second of the ball game. He always seems to be Johnny on the spot. And an interception, and the Cavaliers get it back.
It's a really horrible decision. You got an isolation route over here. That's what you should run. Instead, they have a post going to the middle of the field, but you have a safety that is a post-high safety in the middle of the field. Throw the free access down the bottom of the screen. Instead, you have a post-high safety. The ball is flat. Because you could have tried to throw it way over his head to the goal post, but that is a really bad decision and bad throw by Jeff Sims. And now this time for Joey Blount, that interception will count.
The first one called back. This one will count for him. First down and 10. And it's going to be Thompson with a carry. Thompson. Do it on the ground. He can catch as well. That's going to pick up 5 yards.
And I don't know that I've ever seen just one person bring down Keaton Thompson. It's never the first hit or just the first guy. And kind of interesting for a guy that runs so upright, but obviously very strong runner.
Second down 5. Under 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Armstrong winding up in a wobbly ball. Came out of his hand funny. Angry at himself. Let's toss it down to Kelsey.
Guys, there's definitely been some ebbs and flows in this game, but when Virginia is on, the crowd is really, really into it. And so are the players on the sidelines. After that Virginia touchdown a couple of drives ago, that's the most energy I've seen on the sidelines. It kind of got quiet for a little while. The crowd was seated. They weren't really into it. And then, of course, that Joey Blount pick changed everything. I think you guys saw him dancing on the sideline, too.
3rd and 5, and a quick toss. Going to be complete to Wicks. Wicks getting free. Down the sideline. To the 30. To the 20. And he is off into the end zone. Touchdown. 77 yards for the strike for the Cavaliers. Dontayvion Wicks. He's having some season. Well, he came in averaging 21 yards per catch to lead the ACC. That's going to help a little bit.
It sure will, and it'll also help make sure that this crowd stays in it, because a simple little throw to the sideline to Wicks, but a great job of making Derek Allen miss. And then, man, did you see the burst of speed by Wicks to the end zone?
3 plays, 82 yards. That took 48 seconds. And the extra point is good, and Virginia on top 21-16, leading at 21-16.
Yeah, and it was a great job by Brennan Armstrong of seeing things pre-snap, and really impressed with how this Virginia team has responded after the way Georgia Tech came out swinging.
Touch back out to the 25 it comes.
I say it happens pre-snap because with a safety over the top, Armstrong anticipated this corner coming, and because of that, he's going to throw basically a hot or a side adjustment to Dontayvion Wicks, and then once Wicks makes one guy miss, there's no one left. It's that awareness and the ability to diagnose it pre-snap that allowed Armstrong to be quick with the football, being on the same page with his wide receiver, and That's really good quarterback play.
And a very talented wide receiver too. Wicks 106 yards already worth of receptions, the 4th of his career. And it's going to be Gibbs to try that right side. There is a flag down on the rush with 6:29 to go before halftime. 21-16 Virginia. Cavaliers trying to win their 4th straight.
Offense, number 2, 10-yard penalty. First down.
On a wide receiver, McGowan.
And here's what's interesting about this. Georgia Tech wants to run the football. It's what they do well. As you see McGowan on the right side of your screen, coming in on Joey Blunt, and probably an unnecessary hold with the way Gibbs runs with the football. But, you know, how Sims responds after a critical error, going to be critical.
Yeah, 1st and 20 here. Got to move his feet. Dump the pass off, but nothing doing there. Gibbs with a catch, but had no place to run. Jahmyr Carter made sure of that. They're going to lose 5 yards.
I think this is where you have to be really careful with Jeff Sims. He's been, in my estimation, a momentum player. When things are going good, he does a great job of keeping it rolling. When you kind of have to respond after a mistake, I think it's been a bit of a challenge for him. And now in 2nd and forever with the crowd into it, I think you have to be careful of the type of plays you call for him.
2nd down, 25, backed up. Going to get a little bit of room here on a Gibbs carry. And a stop by Cohen King, the corner. So they gain back 11 on that run.
Yeah, and I think that Dave Padnote on 2nd and long, just trying to settle things down a little bit, try to pop a run, and then 3rd and 14, again, would not be surprised if we see screen, draw, quarterback run, just so you don't get a critical error backed up in your own end.
They've been really good, obviously, on 3rd down tonight. 4 out of 5. The Yellow Jackets have converted. Sims needs another on 3rd and long. He escapes. But down he goes right at the 25-yard line. Nick Jackson to celebrate that one.
And Virginia's good in those situations, these 3rd and long, known passing situations. They're creative with their, kind of sub 3rd down looks. I actually think if you're Georgia Tech, with how that started, you're fine. That Jeff Sims decided to take off and run with it and get the ability to punt the football, and rather than putting your defense in a situation where they're defending a short field against a hot quarterback.
David Shanahan to punt. First 3 and out tonight for the Yellow Jackets. That's how efficient they have been on 3rd down. The punt's going to take a backward hop. And excellent field position here for Virginia. 3:59 to go before the half.
And the 2nd quarter for Virginia has been special because it's been touchdown by Brennan Armstrong, then the interception by Joey Blunt, and then back to Dontayvion Wicks with a great catch and run for the score. So Virginia, after a bit of a slow start, Brennan Armstrong just had it rolling and attacking all areas of the field. Ridiculously efficient with the football and continue to be really impressive. He's been running the football better.
Yep, came into this game leading the country in total offense for a quarterback. Going to be broken up by the Yellow Jackets, intended for Wicks again, but not this time. Stopped by King. Jalen King, the free safety, to knock that away.
Yeah, it's a nice play by Jalen King because he's got another opportunity down the middle. It's going to be a big pickup, and King does a good job of keeping his left hand out of it and then swiping at the football with his right.
2nd and 10. Virginia looking to strike again. Keeping this one on the ground. It's Talapapa straight on. He picks up a 1st down.
Look at the splits. These offensive linemen, look at the lanes to run the football. It's not something that you see all the time from Virginia. We talk about them being unique, but Ace Ely thinking, okay, those wide splits, I'm going to try to run through. And he chooses the A gap, ball goes in the B gap.
Almost 15 yards per rush. Armstrong trying to go airborne again. Has a receiver, it's Wicks again. Wicks has been such an incredible weapon. That'll go for 28.
And it's just interesting, kind of a bunch look to the left in terms of how they're running to the corner, just throttle down into that zone. It's a nice feel by Wicks. And look, I don't know how Virginia practices all this stuff. Quarterbacks are, guys lined up all over the place. Splits huge one play, in tight the next. Just remarkable the volume that they have offensively.
First and goal for the Cavaliers. Jelani Woods in motion. Big tight end. He's some target. Armstrong to run out of bounds. Not much developed there. Chased out by Brooks. So got nothing there. Second and goal for Virginia.
Jeff Collins told us, he's like, when you face this offense, you can practice stuff, but they're not going to do what you practiced. You just have so much in their playbook and so much, different formationally that you just have to kind of be ready to be surprised about what they do on offense.
And look at what they've done in the second quarter. 208 yards so far. Thompson trying to nudge his way to the 5-yard line before he is stacked up. Keaton Thompson with the carry. You just never know where he's going to show up.
Well, and then they window dress it. They're like, it's like a magic trick. Like, hey, look over here. Here comes Billy Kemp, who we love giving the football to. Motion in the backfield, little whirly bird back here. And then it's like, oh, wait a second. There's 99 running with the football, and he's hard to get down.
Talapapa now the running back. 20 career touchdowns. They put Kemp in motion. Armstrong stepping up now. Throws, and it's going to be knocked away. Batted free by the secondary. He wanted Wicks again on a short toss, but didn't get him. And brings up 4th down and goal. And Wicks is going to need some help to get up. And it looks okay. Great news for the Cavaliers. So Brennan Farrell, the kicker to come on. He's been a great story, Farrell. He came to Virginia as a recruited walk-on out of Atlanta. Didn't play at all the first 2 years. He was the backup this year when the season started. Still had not played 1,029 days since he last appeared in a game in high school when the #1 kicker Justin Dunkel got hurt against Wake Forest in week number 4. He came on very coolly, kicked an extra point against Miami the next week, 2 field goals and 2 extra points. He will nail this one from 24 yards. Bronco Mendenhall said he was the anchor in that game for us, and he got to break the rock, which is a really, really big deal in their locker room. Now, these are after every win so far this season.
Yeah, and it's been guys like Brennan Armstrong and Mandy Alonso and Jelani Woods and guys that you would expect to get an opportunity to break the rock. And how about Farrell? Pretty excited to get that opportunity.
No question. 7 plays, 47 yards, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And a field goal to lead it 24-16 with 1:23 to go here in the second. And it took a little while for the Cavaliers to warm up, but once they get that offense rolling, it's a fearsome sight.
It really is. They do so many things to keep you off balance. And, Andrew Thacker, the defensive coordinator for Georgia Tech, said, it's counterintuitive in terms of some of the things that they do. You think, well, they're not going to do that here, and sure enough, that's what happens. But just, so much volume. But, with that, I think it just goes to tell you how smart these players are and then how good Brennan Armstrong is about getting it all orchestrated.
Well, coming up, the PNC Bank halftime report. Battle at Hard Rock. Number 23 Pitt downs Clemson, and highlights and stats from our game as well with Jordan, Eric, EJ, and the coach. It's been a wild day in the ACC. Pitt with that win against Clemson. Kenny Pickett with 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Syracuse upsetting Virginia Tech. The Hokies going backwards, and Wake staying undefeated. A basketball score over Army, 70-56.
He got that right. 70 points for the Demon Deacons.
Sam Hartman, 5 touchdowns. And a handoff, a little delay here for Gibbs. Gibbs takes a pop. He's finally taken down at the 40-yard line. He'll pick up the first. Ventrell Cypress with the stop eventually. 15-yard gain.
Yeah, and you see the ability to still run the football in these 2-minute drive situations because Gibbs is so explosive.
Sims to that far side. He got Carter. Carter has been an important receiver for him. 24 catches. And a man down for the Cavaliers. It's Mike Hollins. I should say Noah Taylor. Noah Taylor, who also wears number 7. And off he comes. Taylor, the senior out of Silver Spring, Maryland, will hobble off with 59 seconds to go. 24-16 Virginia.
And look, with 3 timeouts, obviously plenty of time for Georgia Tech to have an opportunity for a field goal at the end of the half or even get closer. They have a chance to throw one in the end zone.
Sims throwing long, trying to find a receiver, but overshoots his intended man, Malachi Carter. Pretty well covered by the Illinois transfer, Anthony Johnson.
It was well covered by Anthony Johnson, and really the corners for Virginia, Bronco and his staff were excited about. Felt like that helped them move some guys that had cover skills back into safety, and Johnson's been a nice find.
Well, this crowd has become a factor here in this second quarter in a big way for the Cavaliers. 3rd down and 5 for the Yellow Jackets. Sims wants to go airborne again. Badly overthrown there. So incomplete, 51 seconds to go, and they'll give the ball back.
Yeah, and Sims got to deliver a better throw there. He gets hit after he throws the football, but that ball could have been more accurately thrown, and you would give McGowan a chance to pick up the first down. And you mentioned it, Dave. For Brennan Armstrong, in the big plays that we've seen out of this Virginia offense, 51 seconds and 3 timeouts is probably an eternity if you're Jeff Collins looking at the clock.
Shanahan to punt. And Kemp with a fair catch. So time here for Armstrong to work, certainly with his arm and his offense, with 44 seconds to go in the half. 14 out of 19, 184 yards, 3 touchdowns. And oh, by the way, 71 yards rushing. He's had the longest running play of the season for Virginia. For anybody, 45 yards.
Yeah, they've almost just stopped running the football because they've been so good at throwing it. And here he goes.
Opens up a bit and then closes on him as he is tripped up by Ace Ely. Makes the stop after 6-yard gain. And 2nd down coming up with 32 seconds to go. And Wes Jackson, top tackler for the Yellow Jackets, he's going to walk off here. The junior out of Fort Valley, Georgia.
And I'm not sure. I would think that Virginia is trying to get into a 2-minute offense situation and running the football on first down. That injury really ends up helping Virginia because now you just ran the football, picked up 6, but the clock stopped and you still have all your timeouts.
Talapapa, the running back. We have not really called the name of the tight end, very talented 6'7" tight end for Virginia, Jelani Woods, very much. I mean, he's a monster of a nightmare matchup, but turned an ankle this week as a high ankle sprain. So not feeling very good with that ankle. He has a touchdown catch in all but 1 game this season, the tight end for the Cavaliers. So 2nd down and 4. And time to get into field goal range.
Did not have a 10-second run off.
24-16. Going to stay on the ground again. Talapapa will pick up a first down.
I got to be honest with you. Okay, I mean, it looks like I mean, 2 runs on first and second down. Almost got the sense here for a second that Virginia was just happy to run the clock out, which, with the way Brennan Armstrong has been playing and the way that they've moved the ball in this second quarter, Dave, I gotta say, I'm gonna check double dip, score at the end of the half, and get the ball back to start the second half.
We'll see what they do here on 1st and 10. And Armstrong does look to put it in the air, but short. Incomplete. With 22 seconds showing.
Almost looked like he tried to hold it back. He had Wicks running to the corner. Looked like he was getting ready to throw it to him, and he's going to change his mind. Not able to quite do the Ben Roethlisberger pump fake of, you know, not let it out of your hand. But again, with multiple timeouts and 22 seconds and this quarterback in this offense, I'd be aggressive.
Why not? Stepping up, throwing, and incomplete. Intended for Kemp. Billy Kemp, but pretty good pressure there by Dominic, Jordan Dominic, the right side defensive end. They are 3 out of 5 on 3rd down. 3rd and 10 for the Cavaliers. Final seconds of the first half here in Charlottesville. On the ground they stay. Talapapa negotiating his way for a first down. Talapapa power run. They're going to go fast.
Yeah, and it looked like Bronco Mendenhall was like, now he's calling a timeout. They're spiking the football. I mean, you got 2 timeouts left. You just ran for a first down. The clock's going to stop. To me, there has been all types of confusion. And Brennan Armstrong, who everyone talks about being as competitive as anyone, I think he's frustrated with the sideline right now.
6 seconds to go.
I have to be honest. I mean, look at Brennan Armstrong. It's like, guys, what are we doing? And I think there's just confusion all around. He said, you got to call timeout. I agree with the quarterback.
He's a fiery guy. He's been known either in practice or in games to swear at himself, swear at his teammates, but he has every reason to be upset there.
Well, I think you have to have a clear plan. Like, hey, look, here's what we're doing. We're running the clock out here. So the quarterback knows. But clearly there has been some kind of confusion over what we are going to do with 44 seconds left in the half. What are we doing? Are we running the clock out? Are we trying to get into an opportunity where we can kick a field goal at the end of the half? We just ran for a first down, and nobody knows, hey, are we spiking the football, using one of our 2 timeouts, letting the clock run out?
And now down to 6 seconds. They move it to their own 42. On first down for Virginia. Thompson in the game is a wideout. Armstrong looking that way. He's going to fire, and it's going to be right on the sideline for Wicks with 1 second to go before the break. And a 14-yard strike there. And moving the chains again, but only 1 second.
Yeah, look, and you've given yourself an opportunity to throw one into the end zone. You do have to be careful with how you protect your quarterback in these situations, but this is why I think I'm just surprised. I mean, essentially sleepwalking and confused this entire drive, and yet they still give themselves an opportunity to potentially throw one into the end zone to pick up a score before the half.
They're going to review the catch on his near side right in front of the Virginia bench.
The previous play is under further review for a completed pass.
There's a throw to Wicks on the sidelines, and from that angle, it's going to be hard to have definitive evidence that the ball hits the ground, and that looks like his arms are underneath it and that it's a good catch.
Wicks has had a huge half. Came into the game with 32 receptions to lead the Cavaliers. And caught one that went 77 yards for a touchdown tonight in the Virginia comeback. And they have the lead here as we close in on the end of the first half. Georgia Tech started being shot out of a cannon tonight they look like the team that was going to pile up a big lead, and they were able to get some early touchdowns and take the early advantage. And it looks like that should be confirmed as a catch for Virginia.
Should we have doubted it, Dave, with as good as Wicks has been?
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Absolutely not.
I mean, look, if it's near him, let's just consider that I'll catch it.
Right.
Here's something interesting, though. You look at Virginia on the right hash with a left-handed quarterback. I think it kind of sets up to your advantage to try to invite the rush from the left side. It's going to be Jordan Dominic, the defensive end, at the top of the screen. If you can invite him inside and allow Brennan Armstrong to get outside, to allow his receivers to get down the field into the end zone, kind of sets up pretty good for an opportunity for a Hail Mary.
Dancing around, he winds up. Armstrong to the end zone, back of the end zone, batted in the air and broken up as time expires. And that's it for the first half. Virginia will have the football. They will receive in the second half. Dontayvion Wicks, big part of the story, 148 yards and 5 catches, 2 for touchdowns. So Sims will look to answer Armstrong as we get set for the second half here in Charlottesville. And Bronco men
about 150 and 2 scores basically has been uncoverable for Georgia Tech.
And Brennan Armstrong, another great first half, 15-23, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that long as 77 to Wicks, which is their longest touchdown play of the season. So Armstrong on pace for yet another 400-yard passing night for Virginia, and they will have the football as we get set for the second half here in Charlottesville. And a moment ago, Kelsey with Coach Collins.
Coach Collins, you guys started strong, but things changed there in the second half. What did you tell your team about flipping the script here to come out?
Yeah, we got to stay together. We got to play really, really hard. We start off, we're on kickoff. We got to boom the ball, cover really hard, and our defense has to come out and get a stop because we can. That's an explosive offense. They got really good scheme, really good players. So do we. We have to stay together and play really, really hard.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, so check off the booming kick. They did that, getting underway here in the third. Virginia 24-16 on the Yellow Jackets, flushed out of the pocket. Armstrong trying to get free, no chance. Dragged down at the 10-yard line. Jared Ivey, the defensive end, all over him.
Yeah, and it's Ace Ely who's going to come here, and he basically ends up being unblocked. And so you got a free runner into the lap of Brennan Armstrong. They just don't pass it off correctly, and that gets Armstrong moving right away. And then Ivey, who's a really impressive athlete, able to run down Brennan Armstrong.
Looks like on the first play from scrimmage anyway that the Yellow Jackets heard their head coach loud and clear. 2nd and 24. And a toss for Thompson. And out of bounds. He goes on that one to bring up 3rd down. Wesley Walker with the stop. They will gain 8 back, bring up 3rd down and 16.
And I think you get into these 3rd and 16 situations. A lot of teams want to say, all right, well, we're just going to rush 3 and play coverage. But Brennan Armstrong has been picking drop 8 coverage apart all season long. I would expect there to be some type of ad. If not, I think it's danger zone of Armstrong being able to find a completion.
Armstrong to put it in the air again. Rifles a pass. What a catch there by Thompson. Keaton Thompson can frankly do anything you want him to do.
Yeah, and look, here's what they do. They rush 3, and it's a great throw and a great catch, but Brennan Armstrong's been doing this. You give him time in a clean pocket. That is a beautiful throw over Quez Jackson, and you know, before Wanye Thomas can get there. But we've been seeing him do it all season long. I think you're getting these 3rd and longs, you've got to come after him.
He'll throw again. Thompson again in the open field and staggers and goes down. Otherwise, he was going to build on that catch. Another 1st down. That goes for 14.
Look at Keaton Thompson. I talk about him getting better as a receiver, getting more comfortable. Remember, just a couple years ago, in fact, to go back to training camp a year ago, he's competing to play quarterback before a shoulder injury kind of takes him out of the quarterback competition. Just got such a great feel at the wide receiver spot.
Yes, had some big games. He had 10 catches, 149 yards against Louisville. And another completion here by the left-handed quarterback Armstrong. Got it in there to Billy Kemp, one of his favorites. Eventually the tackle by Wesley Walker. So 2nd down and 6. Virginia moving the ball quickly. Remember, they had 2nd down and 24 after the sack, but they're on the move again. Empty backfield. He's going to flip this one for Thompson. A little pitch. Move it ahead. Crossing into 1st down. He got another one. Man, just staying on his feet, continuing to pick up chunks of yardage. He got 9, and man, did he earn it.
Well, I'm looking at Keaton Thompson. He's kind of getting down into this stance, and I'm guessing he's tired because all the plays, but he's really just kind of hiding as they're running this little under trap looking play. And again, trying to tackle him, period. Definitely trying to tackle him high is not going to work, and never does he go down easy.
They broke 6 tackles. Armstrong again fires, and this time gets the tight end Woods. Another 1st down. And Jelani, who's playing with a very tender ankle, high ankle sprain, suffered in practice. You can see he's a little bit hobbled there, but that's a 19-yard gainer.
And it's a great job again by Armstrong as he's escaping, just ready to get rid of the ball quickly. See on this drive, 6 for 6, but just a quick release as he's running in a tight window throw to Jelani Woods.
He's been perfect on the drive. As you mentioned, 6 for 6. They put Kemp in motion. Armstrong, he is hit as he throws, incomplete. Charlie Thomas all over him and knocked him to the deck. 11:08 to go here in the 3rd.
And here's Jelani Woods running right through, and they just leave him. They bust the coverage, and it's hard to miss a 6'7" target, but Brennan Armstrong just chose the other side. Had he decided to go the other way, would have been another easy touchdown that time to Woods.
Woods, by the way, with a touchdown catch in all but 1 game this season. 2nd down and 10. This time it's Wicks on the move. Armstrong was looking that way, and now they're going to wrap him up and haul him down. A tackle by Jamon Brooks, the 6'1" senior, and they're going to lose 2.
Yeah, and I will say, when Brennan Armstrong has had time to throw, when it's been a clean and comfortable pocket, I'm not just talking about tonight, I'm talking about all season long, he's been perfect. And, you know, when you get him moving, I think that's your only chance to disrupt him, because he's proved that with a clean pocket, doesn't matter what you're doing coverage-wise, he can find a completion.
3rd down 12. He pumped once. On the run, Armstrong trying to get past that flag, but he takes a dive getting inside the 10-yard line. Eventually, it's Edwards to knock him down. That's a 6-yard pickup and brings up 4th down.
Look, that's a win for Georgia Tech defensively. You know, yes, Virginia drove the length of the field, but you come up with a stop and force a field goal attempt when the quarterback, and we pointed it out, was 6 for 6 on the drive to get a stop and force a field goal. I think Jeff Collins has got to be happy with his group.
So it'll be a 26-yarder for Brennan Farrell. We told you his story in the first half, taking over in the Wake Forest game in the second half, and he's been perfect. And he is going to hook this one up and good for 3 more. Virginia leading Charlottesville on the grounds at Virginia. They never use the word campus here. That goes back to when Thomas Jefferson founded the school.
Well, and they're dancing on the grounds because this offense has been really fun to watch starting in the 2nd quarter, and reason to cheer and dance.
20 unanswered points. Last drive, 11 plays, 67 yards, just over 5 minutes. So now Jeff Sims has to go back to work.
Yeah, he does, and he needs to get back in a rhythm because he started off the game kind of hot. A couple 3rd down conversions. Did a good job of pushing the ball down the field, was effective running the football, and was accurate with it, and then a couple drops, and then a bad decision in the red zone, and haven't really gotten anything going since. And as you see, you know, started off 8 for 10, 3 of 9 since, and I think it'll help them if they get the run game going as well.
Oh, good pop as Gibbs got a hit from King. Let's go down to Kelsey.
Well, I got to catch up with Jeff Sims this week and talk to him about some of the adversity he's faced, not just this year, but throughout his career. And he told me that one thing he's working on is making sure he's the point of emphasis on this team to be the leader, make sure everyone's moving. He says, if I'm down, it's not a good look. I've got to stay positive and bring the energy rather.
Going to hand off once again. Gibbs breaks free. He's off to the races. Across the 20, the 10, see you later. Touchdown, Georgia Tech, and no flags. He romps 71 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs into the end zone. That quiets the dancing, at least momentarily, and makes it 27-22.
Yeah, it does quiet the dancing because that is a huge run, and you can see why Bronco Mendenhall talked about their athletes in space and how dangerous they were.
So Gibbs all the way from 71 yards to seal the deal into the end zone, and they're going to go for 2. They put Mason in as the running back. And a timeout.
First charge timeout. Virginia, 30 seconds.
I'm shocked at the timeout. That did not look like Georgia Tech was really ready. The play clock is running down. I think it's down to 2 seconds, and Bronco Mendenhall sprinting down the field to call a timeout. I'm not sure Georgia Tech was even going to get the playoff.
Yeah,
and in a game that's a close game.
A couple of odd decisions on the Virginia sideline. Going back to the first half, when how they managed those last 44 seconds and really didn't take a shot until the very end.
Well, listen, I mean, go back to the end of the half. Like an opportunity to kick a field goal. That's 3 points. And now here we are on a 2-point play. So obviously a swing, a critical play. But I don't think Georgia Tech's going to be able to snap the ball in time.
Yellow Jackets looking for a 2-point conversion. 27-22 Virginia. They snap it to Mason. Sims looking for the end zone, and they're going to convert here. A 2-point conversion, got it free. So some trickery here for the Yellow Jackets. Avery Boyd in the end zone. It was tipped and tumbling. He dives ahead to make the play.
Well, and it's basically a version of Philly special, if you will. You know, they get into a situation where it ends up being a direct snap to a running back, flip back to the quarterback. You know, he's the thrower in that scenario, and you would think that he'd be able to find a throwing lane. He doesn't, but a good adjustment to the football by Boyd.
Let's look back to the touchdown, 27-24.
Well, Ahern's going to get out of position. He's going to come inside as Gibbs gets the football, and then when a defender comes from out here, just look at the start-stop ability of Jahmyr Gibbs. And that is just a ton of speed once he gets going up the field. And you can see why they want him to touch it 20 times in a football game at least, because just handing it to him on a simple zone read, he has the ability to be a home run hitter.
Yeah, a lot more coming maybe. 131 yards rushing for Gibbs. That's a career high. And his first 100-yard game this season, and he doesn't look exactly winded right now.
Oh, and you know, they try to, because I think people have tried to stack up on the run, just find different ways for him to get the football. Throw it to him in the flat with blockers out in front. Throw it to him on a swing screen. We've seen slow screens so far in this football game. But yeah, any way that you can get the ball in his hands, I think that you are putting the ball in the best football player's hands on this Georgia Tech football team.
Thompson doubles back. He'll get the football on the handoff. Pretty good size hole, still off on his feet. Boy, on contact number 1, 2, or 3, he never goes down. That's an 11-yard gain and moving the sticks for the Cavaliers.
It's remarkable, and I think it looks, you look at him, you're like, oh, he's so tall. Wouldn't you be able to just kind of saw him down and get him to the ground? But he's just able to be elusive enough and then run through contact. And impressive football player.
Keaton celebrating a birthday today. Goes to the sideline for the moment. Armstrong with a short chuck. Woods gets away. Jelani Woods out of bounds, picking up another first down. Good luck taking him down as well.
I feel like we keep seeing it all from Brennan Armstrong. That time it's a climb through, some contact in the pocket. I mean, just look at this. Almost looks like he's going to run and just gets it out and then gets absolutely drilled, but already like, hey, help me up. I'm going to go complete another one.
1st and 10. Pretty good time. Long throw, but overshot. It was Wicks breaking out, but the football nowhere near him. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
And a bit of a miscommunication. Wicks is running to the post, and Brennan Armstrong is throwing a go route. And you see the reaction afterwards. Kind of like, hey, what are we doing there? What are we running? Wires crossed. Dave, that snake, little snaking with your arm for a quarterback, that means what are you doing? Wide receiver.
I can see you doing that in the booth more than once during the course of that little snake move. I think you've done it before. 2nd down and 10. Under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd. He'll sling it again. Kemp this time. And he is spun around on a nasty tackle. Ball came loose, but not a fumble. That'll go for 8 yards. The crowd did not like it. There is a flag down on the play. Wesley Walker with the tackle and some extra.
Yeah, Wesley Walker, who's a big physical player, I think he's going to get called for that.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 97, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
I thought they were going to call it on Wesley Walker for the body slam right there, but it's 97.
Yeah, Akilo Stone coming in late.
Yeah, Stone flying in there with the late hit, and wasn't positive about the Walker one, but the Stone one is a clear late hit.
That completed pass by Armstrong for the penalty got him over 300 yards for the contest again. And a stoppage in play. 7th time this season he's gone over 300 yards.
Previous play is under further review for potential targeting.
So possible targeting, says Keith Roden, and we'll be back after they take a look. There's a penalty there, but here is what they were looking at.
Yeah, when I initially saw the flag, I thought maybe it was that body slam, but it's Stone coming, flying in there, and but the play's over. Kemp's down, so he's defenseless. And
and one item leading to targeting, leading with the helmet, shoulder, fist, or hand to attack with forcible contact at the neck or head area.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that we have forcible contact. We've got a 300-pound defensive lineman sprinting, pursuing for the football. And it's one of these things that's so hard. I mean, just look at the size of Stone. And here he is right here. I mean, you look at the size of him. You think you're sprinting, guys on the ground, you're trying to pull off, and
I think they might even be looking to see if there was a fumble on the play. We mentioned the football came loose, but it did not look like a fumble.
No, I mean, once Kemp's head hits the ground, which looked like that was the first thing to hit, he's down.
But we could absolutely see targeting here.
Yeah, I do, because of the area, the forcible contact, the fact that, it's after the play, he's kind of defenseless because he's down and sitting there. And, because Stone, and I'm certainly not going to accuse him of trying to do it. He's just a big guy pursuing the play. And, he goes to hit a guy that's smaller than him and on the ground. He's going to get him up in the head and neck area, and he blasts him. And
after further review, there is foul for targeting against number 97 of the defense. That penalty is already enforced. 97 is disqualified. First down.
So the big freshman, 6'2", 296 pounds, out of Savannah, Georgia, is done for the night. He is disqualified. And meanwhile, the football on the 21-yard line. And Virginia on top by 3. Kemp saying see you later to Stone.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, this targeting thing and guys being disqualified, seeing a guy, you know, hustling and got the 15-yard penalty. I'm still coming to grips with it, but the way that the rule is written, it was just officiated properly.
So first down for the Cavaliers. Coming up on 7 minutes to go, third quarter in Charlottesville. Virginia trying to win their 4th consecutive game. They've had some heart-stopping wins. Armstrong will climb up and run. Getting across the 10. Takes a pretty good knock, but jumps right back up. Tariq Carpenter said hi, but that's a 14-yard gain for the quarterback.
And look, I think Brennan Armstrong checks to something, anticipating pressure. Georgia Tech then says, hey, he's checking, we're going to check. And then kind of an offshoot of what they do offensively on pass plays, they have these quarterback draws designed into them, and then it's a great pickup by Brennan Armstrong.
Now Virginia has scored in the red zone 84% of the time this season. And try and keep it on the ground, but a crunching hit brings up 2nd and goal for the Cavaliers. Just a 1-yard pickup. Carpenter on the stop.
I'm going to say it again. Here we go. We're gonna fake it to him. No, we're giving it to him. What are we doing? I mean, it's amazing to me, Dave. I'll go back and say it. I don't know when they practice this stuff, especially when Keaton Thompson has been dealing with a broken wrist, hand, whatever he's got. It's just incredible how smart these players are, that the volume that they're doing offensively, you don't end up seeing more mistakes.
Talapapa reversing field. Diving to his right, still up. And kept on churning and churning on that play. Brooks eventually with a tackle. Talapapa, the tough yardage man. The senior from Hawaii, he went over 1,000 yards career earlier this season. 3rd down and goal. He gained 3 there.
And this would be a big stop for Georgia Tech. Obviously, big one last time around to hold Virginia to a field goal. And I think if you're Georgia Tech, you say, all right, here's the deal. Be ready for 99 to run the football, but do not let Wicks go up and make a play.
4-yard line. Armstrong keeping it, heading for the end zone. He dives in for a touchdown. Brennan Armstrong, you talk about quarterbacks who can flat do it all. He might rush for 100 yards in this game. He's already thrown for over 300.
It's a great reaction by Brennan Armstrong because the design of the play was trying to sneak Keaton Thompson out into the flat off of the play action, move Armstrong, and give him an opportunity to get it to him. He was covered up. So Brennan Armstrong, he was just a football player, decided to run it in.
8 plays, 75 yards. Drive took just under 4 minutes. The extra point good. 34-24.
Well, Keaton Thompson's the guy they're trying to get it to. They're going to run him into the flat, but he ends up getting covered up. And because of that, Brennan Armstrong says, all right, you're going to send 2 to him. I'm going to take it into the end zone.
On Georgia Tech and Virginia. And a 34-24 lead for the Cavaliers. And an all-purpose performance certainly by Brennan Armstrong on the ground and in the air once again as we go down to Kelsey Riggs.
Well, guys, just wanted to give you an update on linebacker Noah Taylor. We saw him injured at the end of the first half. He did come back out with his pads on, had his left ankle taped, and looked like he was going to try and go, but then it looked like he was in a lot of pain. Sat down on the bench, very dejected and very sad. He does not have his pads on anymore and standing on the sideline now, not with his team. As far as the coaches, though, they said third quarter, no more points. Don't give them anything else. We've got him on a pillar right now.
We shall see. Sims will have a lot to say about that. Floats that one to Gibbs. Gibbs putting the helmet down and dives in around the 30. Elijah Gaines with a stop, and that'll pick up 5 yards. Gibbs, just a freshman from Dalton, Georgia. Sims, also technically a freshman, takes the snap. Going to look to throw and completed to Carter. Carter out of bounds into the Virginia bench area. That's 8 yards.
And I think, Dave Padnode trying to get his quarterback back into a rhythm. Obviously, they popped the run the last drive, but when you see off coverage, if you can get Sims into some of these scenarios where it's just catch and throw, kind of get him back on his feet, passing the football, you have a chance.
1st and 10 short. And dumps that one off. Completed to McGowan. McGowan will gain 6 yards, so they're moving the football again. That's really the way the game began for Georgia Tech. A very, very quick start. They were really efficient moving the football, piling up first downs one after another.
Yeah, and I think you can do a similar thing here where, you continue to run the football and you continue to use pace to help you do it.
Sims dancing around a bit, flipped it up, and a wild-looking pass. Pressure on him. Able to get it released and incomplete. And a pressure by Elliott Brown. Big time.
I think that this was a called pass play originally, but you look at the offensive line, they're blocking pass. And it looked like immediately Sims was trying to run the football and then decides to throw it. Confusion all the way around. Georgia Tech.
They misfired on 3 consecutive 3rd downs, trying to convert one here, 3rd and 5. Sims rifles the pass, and that's incomplete. Wanted his tight end Leonard, but no, and he'll give up the football again.
And it's another drop, and it's not a really accurately thrown ball. May have even been tipped a little bit high and behind, and that's hard on in-breaking routes. I just think, you're kind of having some success. And I don't know what in the world happened on 2nd down, but you've got the offensive line blocking pass. You have a quarterback that looks like he wants to run the football, and then halfway through the run decides he wants to throw it, and it's really fortunate the ball wasn't picked off.
Kemp standing deep at the 15-yard line, and a fair catch. So Virginia with the football as we take a look at tonight's Player Spotlight, brought to you by Geico. Keaton Thompson, he's been in the middle of everything.
Well, we need to spotlight him to find him because of everywhere where they'll line him up. And, I think it's, when they decided to call him a football player, it was kind of interesting. He ends up with number 99 because, he's new to the program, he was competing last year, doesn't win the quarterback job, and maybe doesn't like the other numbers, but then now has embraced it and plays just about everywhere.
He's made that popular. How about that catch on a play? One-handed by Keaton Thompson for a 9-yard gain. The athleticism is mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling, and that one could have been picked up. Like, to me, when I watch him, I'm like, you know what? The Patriots are going to draft him at some point, and then he's going to have, he's going to be a special team Pro Bowler, and he's going to play for 15 years in that organization. He is just a football player and can do a bunch of different things, as we've clearly seen.
You've already got it down to Belichick's
a little bit.
Press conference. We drafted a football player. That's what we wanted. We got Keaton Thompson. He can do it all. On the ground, Talapapa with a tackle by Charlie Thomas, a 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, seriously, when you look at him, you look at the rush yards, the pass yards, and, the receiving yards, and yeah, he probably can block punts and field goals too. It's been really fun to watch him, and it's also a credit to this coaching staff to convince him to kind of move positions and then also be creative enough to use him.
Can find his way to the end zone too, 27 times. Can't put a catch. Another first here for the Cavaliers, moving the chains. Billy Kemp with a grab, the ultra-reliable senior.
Yeah, and listen, Keaton Thompson running through the top of the defense. Brennan Armstrong came off him about 2 steps too early. Still a nice pickup, but he had Thompson for a score.
When a guy was that open and he came back to your huddle, did he ever say anything to you?
Yeah, of course they do, but you never believe them because they always said it.
That one's going to bounce incomplete. He wanted Kemp again. So you never believe them.
You never believe them, but I will tell you, because Thompson is a former quarterback, like there's a chance that you're like, shoot, maybe I would believe him. He sees it pretty well.
Yeah, there's a lot more credibility with him.
I think so.
Who also does your job as the QB. Talapapa and Thompson, both running backs. It's 2nd down and 10 for Armstrong. Thompson with a carry, straight on. Good yardage there. Turning into a running back on that occasion. Brooks with the stop. And a 4-yard gain for number 99. Everybody ought to look for the number 99. As you mentioned, he's beaten up too. A busted hand. How he's able to play with that and make the kind of plays that he makes, I have no idea.
I mean, he's like, I think he got some dislocated fingers too, and that is the definition of football player.
He rifles that one, a fight for it, but Kent coming away with it complete. And a 1st down.
That's a good job of Armstrong. Gets blitzed, and so the pressure comes. You see the pressure coming, and Billy Kemp, who's just got such a great feel, really is slot receiver in his own right. Wanya Thomas gets there, and I think it's probably a pretty generous spot by the officials to give him the 1st down.
Under a minute to go in the 3rd. Virginia driving again. On top by 10. Good time to throw. It's Woods. The gigantic tight end into the open field. Another 1st down for the Cavaliers. Took 2 men to bring him down, King and Thomas. 24 yards.
Yeah, and watch Rashawn Henry here. It's almost like, he tries to outside release. He gets knocked out of bounds, and now he is blocking the flat defender, holding him, if you will, out of bounds, which is why Jelani Woods, he's got so much room to run with the football after he catches it.
Last seconds of the 3rd. And a full head of steam for the Cavaliers here at home in Charlottesville. 1st down 10. Armstrong will run it. Heading to the end zone, spins, he gets into the end zone, and a touchdown. Armstrong does it again, a 14-yard touchdown scamper.
He's doing it all. I'm not sure that, as I'm watching them, that they're going to run a play, maybe just let the quarter come up, but as Jalen King tries to wrestle him down, he ends up coming down on top of King, extends for the touchdown, and Keaton Thompson's a football player. I think we could talk about Brennan Armstrong maybe is a football player as well.
I think it's time to be talking a lot more about both of those guys, but Brennan Armstrong should be getting a whole lot more attention for the season he has had. 99 rushing yards, 1 second left here in the 3rd. And of course, he's gone well over 300 yards passing. Taking another look at that touchdown. It is under review. As you mentioned, you can be on top of a player, knee not touching, getting across that goal line. It's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. And to just talk about Brennan Armstrong a little bit, like year over year, the improvement from Brennan Armstrong is remarkable.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So confirmed. And Armstrong with another spectacular game. There's a sense of wonder in your comments about Armstrong because he was a really good player. Now he's turned into something else. He's gone a couple of levels above that, hasn't he?
He has, because, and I think the Virginia coaching staff would tell you, his first talent is as a runner. When he played in high school, he ran first. And it's almost like this you know, whether the concussion a year ago against NC State or whether the knee injury earlier this season against Illinois has forced this football team in terms of how they design the offense and forced Brennan Armstrong to kind of evaluate how he plays, because now he's a passer. And so it's just quarterback run. He's going to get out here, and then he is going to turn this up in the strength and power and kind of the grittiness of this run as he follows Grant Mish is really good. And that's why I think, like, that was the type of stuff, Dave, that he did early on a year ago. It was that type of stuff. You almost felt like, hey, we're going to see, you know, a version of Taysom Hill here at Virginia for this coaching staff. But what we've seen is a guy that is doing that stuff, but as a passer has been as prolific as anybody in college football.
Well, he's passed for 3 in this one. He's rushed for 2. He's rushed for almost 100 yards. He's passed already for over 350 yards. Incredible.
Well, Dave, we talked about this at halftime. We said he might get to 400 again, and because he was just under 200. And then we look at it and was like, you know what, he might get to 100 yards rushing, and looks like he may blow past those numbers.
He's never had a 300-yard passing day at the same time he rushed for 100 yards. Sims looking to respond now. He's chased out of the pocket and fires incomplete. And so that is the end of the third quarter. Virginia building up the lead behind their outstanding quarterback, Brennan Armstrong. The crowd, those who have been here all night long, have been festive. They have been into it, and a big support system for the Cavaliers. Georgia Tech's going to keep this one on the ground, and it's going to be Smith still up. Evaded several tacklers on that near sideline, stayed on his feet, but a flag is down. And dropped here with about 15 minutes to go.
Holding. Offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
The shame of that for Georgia Tech is that I think it happens after Smith has maybe passed him. Unless they got it earlier. No, they ended up getting it earlier there. And I will tell you,
Sims dumps it over the middle and complete to Leonard. Third down coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Their offense was so strong early, but that has not been the case the last couple of quarters of football. And Virginia has surged past them to lead it 41-24.
And they've had penalties that have forced them into these 3rd and longs, these known passing situations, and that's just not the strength of Jeff Sims.
And frankly, for a big chunk of the first half, they were penalty free, but they're piling up in a couple of important spots here. And it's going to be incomplete, intended for Mason, a running back. 4th and 10. Here comes the punting unit.
Yeah, and you see Dave Cadno just, I think he's trying to, like, calm down Jeff Sims. I mean, you just can see the body posture and kind of talking through it. And I think there have been points throughout Sims's career where, you know, they've had to kind of manage emotions of the game, staying poised, being able to respond after errors, at the same time while still trying to teach a young player some football.
Shanahan with a punt and a dandy. Camp with a fair catch. So the drive will begin right there for Virginia. Time for Bojangles' big Bo moment.
Well, I think the big Bo moment is that when Brennan Armstrong got to the locker room, his uniform was ready, because he's been big the entire night, throwing the football, running the football. He's just been absolutely outstanding. And, you know, anytime there was a response by Georgia Tech or you needed to fight back, Brennan Armstrong has just brought it.
He has had some night. It's not over yet. Great protection in the pocket, and that's going to be broken up. Thompson is intended receiver. Wanye Thomas there to stop it. And a quarterback with a rifled throw. A man down here for Virginia. Bobby Haskins, an offensive lineman, down for the moment. We'll take the break. 13:45 to go. So 2nd down and 10. Talapapa cutting back in. On a carry for the Cavaliers. We're talking about the night that Brennan Armstrong is having. And remember, he set a Virginia record in total offense in the game against North Carolina. 553 yards in that one. In this game, he's at 455 with a lot of time remaining. So could top his own record set against the Tar Heels. Of course, North Carolina won that game 59-39.
I'm gonna say the only thing working against him was that, his team continued to play from behind because they couldn't stop North Carolina, whereas they've been able to come up with stops against Georgia Tech.
False start. Offense, number 55, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, Luatimi with the penalty. Just the 3rd Virginia penalty tonight, so they've been pretty darn clean. And 12:55 to go. 41-24 Virginia. Armstrong looking to add to that. Thompson again will line up in the backfield. Armstrong to fire. And a tough catch, but it's going to be made by Wicks. Georgia Tech says no, that it hit the ground. Virginia is still adamant that they have a reception on this.
I'll say, when I saw it live, I thought Wicks caught it.
They still think so. Ruled incomplete.
What's going to be interesting is, like, he initially, he's claiming he caught it, which again, Dave, I feel like that one should be looked at.
Going to punt the football. Ray back around the 32-yard line and trying to run this one out. He's going to be dragged down at the 35. 44-yard punt. 1st and 10 coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Some news and notes around the conference. Wake Forest remains undefeated. Wild one today. Harden with 5 touchdown passes, a career high. Syracuse knocking off Virginia Tech. Hokies in deep trouble. That's 3 consecutive losses, all at home.
Yeah, and that they've kind of, you said it earlier, heading the wrong direction. Impressive by Pitt, and then a bit of a surprise is, Miami's been on the ropes. The fact that they ahead of NC State right now.
21-20 in the 3rd. Mason with the carry. Georgia Tech 290 yards in the first half. They had 17 first downs. In the second half, just 106 yards and just 2 first downs. So a tale of 2 halves certainly for Georgia Tech.
It is crazy to see what's going on in the conference today, and then next week we'll be at that one. Louisville at NC State. And been really impressed with Devin Leary, and I think he had thrown 12 touchdowns to no interception over his last 3 or 4 games, which is impressive. And but now Miami, shots 14, still hasn't thrown a pick. A little update on tonight.
A couple of more tonight. And without an interception. And the Wolfpack moving up the national rankings up to number 18 going into play this evening. 3rd down 3 for Sims. And keeping it on the ground, and a pretty good defensive effort there by Virginia on the stop. He got 3.
And it's 4th down. It's obviously a must-go situation with the situation of the game. Yeah, I think you see Jeff Collins. Maybe he thought some of his players thought they got a 1st down, but he's letting them know, hey, it's 4th down. And we saw this earlier in the game. Quarterback run has been the play on this short yardage situation. I would expect it again here.
Sims will keep it. He'll pick up the first. Racing, trying to break free. He stumbles and does not find the end zone. But it was right there in front of him, and a tremendous burst of speed by Jeff Sims.
Tremendous burst of speed. I thought he was going to score. They basically run option. And when then this defender widens, he just ends up having a lane to go with the football.
Gets 38 yards. Hand off for Gibbs, trying to break free, but they're going to stack him. Taken down by Cohen King. Back to that run.
And you just see Jeff Sims' speed, one of the reasons they're excited about what he can do, and a little bit of a Daniel Jones turf monster there on Sims. Otherwise, I think he scores.
2nd down, 11. Sims out of the pocket, heading for the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. And plenty of coverage. He wanted McGowan in the end zone. Pressure by Elliott Brown. And tossed it into the end zone, incomplete.
And McGowan is wondering, why there wasn't a flag, because he kind of got held, and Sims just under enough pressure, running a corner route, and goes inside and gets grabbed. He's actually running inside fade. A little bit of contact there. Would have thought that drew a flag.
3rd down, 11. It's Gibbs again. Trying to bounce outside. They string him on. Nothing doing here. Virginia with a couple of good stops. Blunt got to him this time. Blunt, who has an interception tonight. Actually had 2, but first one was called back. And Gibbs a little bit hobbled.
He is. Nice tackle in the open field by Joey Blunt. And field goal unit comes on, which is the right call. 4th and 9. Unlikely that you'd be able to pick up the first down. Plus, still, ends up being a 2-score game if you can convert on this field goal.
It'll be a 34-yard attempt for the senior Samaglia. 1 for 1 from 26 tonight. Trying to put the Yellow Jackets back on the scoreboard, and he will drill this one. Perfect. So the Yellow Jackets hanging in 41-27 in the 4th. 1 tap.
We've got a good one here. Still plenty of time. 2-score game, and think about stuff going on in the conference. And Miami, North Carolina State. Miami has North Carolina State on the ropes. And
now, meanwhile, about 9 minutes to go, and Georgia Tech is going to go with an onside kick in a 41-27 game. A lot of time left. But a whistle and a timeout. Virginia.
Charge timeout. Virginia. 30 seconds.
So 8:59 remaining here at Virginia. Bronco Mendenhall knows darn well that this is a long way from feeling secure. And it's been a very entertaining football game because both offenses are really capable. In Virginia, especially Brennan Armstrong, has just been a revelation this season and again tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's why Jeff Collins is maybe thinking, even with 9 minutes left in the game, let's go for the onside kick, because I'm not sure we can stop Brennan Armstrong in this offense. And, you mentioned capable offenses. Look, we saw against Duke, Georgia Tech was struggling offensively, but Jeff Sims was able to put together a game-winning drive, kind of rebound and get that offense going. They also can break it with a long run. We've seen that from Gibbs tonight. So, yeah, I think, plenty of football left. I think the fear in terms of not being able to stop Virginia, though, maybe forcing Jeff Collins' hands in terms of going for this onside kick.
Jude Kelly will handle this on the onside kick for the Yellow Jackets. So an interesting strategy here by Jeff Collins. They're going to go deep instead. So a little fakery and down inside the 5-yard line.
And listen, that is a great play. That is an awesome job by Jeff Collins. Think about what just happened. You kick a field goal, you end up, now it's a 2-score game. You line up in an onside kick formation. It forces Virginia to use one of their timeouts when they've already used one. So now they have 1 left. And then after getting that, return team to adjust, You don't just boom it through the end zone. You kick it down there, it dies inside the 10-yard line, and now you've got this Virginia offense that's been hard to stop. Now with their possession starting inside the 5-yard line, that's really well done.
Yeah, from the 4. Devin Darrington, the running back, along with Armstrong, will hand off and reversing this, looking for the sideline, still on his feet, and out he goes. Chased out by Jalen King. Devin Darrington, we have not called his name much tonight, but he picks up 5 on that carry.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see him in this situation. Darrington, the transfer from Harvard, backed up inside the 5-yard line, just goes to show you the trust that they have in all their running backs.
So they get it out to the 9. 2nd down 5. Armstrong has been magical again tonight for the Cavaliers. He'll stay on the ground and bust it. Darrington again and picks up a first down with his biggest contribution all night long. King again with the stop, but not before a 15-yard run.
And it's kind of surprising. You think, okay, well, you're backed up. What are you going to do? Put it in 5's hands, right? Put it in Brennan Armstrong's hands. Let him do that. Nope. Hey, let's get the guy from Harvard who didn't get to play football last year because of COVID, and he'll rip off a 15-yard run.
Running clock, 7:48. He's got time to throw. Now he's going to run out. On the move, fires, and it's going to be incomplete. Off his receiver, Kemp. And it fell harmlessly, incomplete, to bring up 2nd down and 10.
It's a really good job by Brennan Armstrong. Sometimes coaches will call plays, double move here, double move here. Well, the defense doesn't go for it. They play over the top. And so because of that, Brennan Armstrong doesn't throw it. And really should have found a completion from Kemp if he can hold on to that. Just because a coach calls a shot play doesn't mean you have to throw it. That's good discipline by Armstrong.
Who is just 1 yard away from rushing for 100. Continues to throw it. He hits Wicks again. Wicks, who's been deadly tonight, moving into the secondary of Georgia Tech. King with a tackle. That's a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, and it's good play design. The ref's fortunate his head didn't get knocked off, standing right there in the line of fire. Good job formationally. Motion the back outside, puts Wicks in the slot, allows him to work in the middle, and look at the night that Dontayvion Wicks has had.
167 yards worth of catches, averaging almost 28 yards a reception. Once again, Darrington getting some work here in the 4th. Brooks ties him up. And it'll be 2nd down for the Cavaliers. That clock running, 41-27. They have the lead. Season high for Virginia in yards with 582 and counting.
And I think the probably most encouraging thing for Bronco Mendenhall is in a situation where they're trying to burn some clock, they're running the football well.
It's going to be Thompson to carry. Thompson cutting back inside. Slithers away, picks up a first down. Talk about contributions. He has made man-sized contributions in this game.
Yeah, and it's basically just, student body right. It's Wayne Talapapa in the backfield leading the way for Keaton Thompson. And I don't know how you know it as a defensive coordinator that, okay, hey, 99 is going to line up and take the snap, because personnel-wise, sometimes he's in the slot. Sometimes, he's the wide receiver, out on the perimeter. But it was Armstrong detached from the formation and then just quarterback run.
Out of Thomasville, Georgia, who came off a moment ago. Virginia, by the way, has gone over 600 yards in offense for the first time since 2017 against UConn, to 440 yards for the Yellow Jackets. Cavaliers driving it here, getting late into the 4th. And Armstrong back at it. He has had quite a night. Talapapa, the running back. Thompson circling back. He'll get the handoff. He's going to bang through 1 or 2 tackles before he finally goes down. He always does. and gains 8 yards.
Just look at how hard Keaton Thompson is to get down. You know, I mean, he's essentially playing tailback when they motion him into the backfield like that and hand him the football. And he's 6'4", 210. Like, there aren't tailbacks playing in college football that are 6'4", 210. But he does that on top of everything else, and he's still remarkably hard to get to the ground.
Been a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver in this game. Not done yet. 2nd down and 3. He'll get the carry, looking to bounce out. And dragged out on the sideline. Keaton Thompson again with the carry and doling out plenty of punishment, leaving Yellow Jackets in his wake. He's going to pick up a 1st down on this. A 6-yard carry.
He's got to be exhausted. I'm tired watching him. I mean, with what he's done. I mean, the effort that he finishes these runs with. I mean, he starts to stiff arm Wayne Talapapa, then gets his stiff arm, you know, on a Georgia Tech defender, makes Ace Ely miss, falls forward. And by the way, he ran at the play before as well. Hey, now big fella, go play wide receiver.
Wide left. Talapapa in motion. Armstrong wants him for the end zone. A diving catch in the end zone and a touchdown. Henry with a sensational catch. A 20-yard touchdown grab. And the Cavaliers strike again.
It's a great catch. It is a phenomenal throw by Brennan Armstrong. Up at the top of your screen, just a go route, and Trace Willing is looking inside like he's gonna trap something else, and just right over the defender towards the back pylon.
Oh, look at the reaction by Brennan Armstrong, just priceless. Great throw, great catch. Henry for the end zone. 9 plays, 96 yards in just over 5 minutes. And feeling like a nail in the coffin. With 3:50 to go. Another big time, a 636 total yards offense, which is number 6 all time for Virginia. That's the night it's been for the Cavaliers offensively. Dante Smith will let one carry into the end zone. Armstrong really has been spectacular.
Yeah, and Brennan Armstrong has had a lot to celebrate today because the offense has been remarkable. The team loves him, responds to him. He's been outstanding. You know, Dave, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, maybe an ACC quarterback being in the Heisman race. It seems like Kenny Pickett's getting all the love, and rightfully so. But how about these other ACC quarterbacks in the day that Sam Hartman had, the night that Brennan Armstrong's had, and obviously day and season for Kenny Pickett.
I think one of the separators here among those 3 have all had great days, and a sack here for the Virginia defense. All over the quarterback Sims. Elliott Brown will get credit for it. Difference is what this guy has done with his legs. He is 1 yard away from 100.
It's interesting because I'm watching him and I'm saying, you know, 6'2", 215. He's left-handed. Like, who's he remind me of? Like, when's the last time I saw it look like this? And you know who keeps coming to mind? Tua.
Sure. A big hit. And McCollum with the catch, picks up 5 yards, but Blunt is there with a big hello. Not a bad comparison.
I mean, you know, like sometimes the motion, you're like, well, okay, I mean, could it be smoothed out a little bit, a little sidearm at times, but can you attack all areas of the field? Yes. Could you do that? Are you dangerous as a runner? Yes, he certainly is. Are you, you know, lethally accurate? He has been all season long.
Well, tonight, no picks for touchdown passes. Complete to Sanders. Armstrong, 29 out of 43, 396 yards, 4 TDs. And, of course, running the football 12 times, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he's been responsible for 6 touchdowns. Great night and what has been a spectacular season. And he should be getting a lot more recognition nationally than he is, quite frankly. Great to see those other guys getting a lot of attention too, because they're great quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things where, you know, you look at this and you say, all right, because Kenny Pickett is in the conversation doesn't mean that Brennan Armstrong can't show up in the conversation.
Right.
Sam Hartman, for that matter.
Sims rifles this one and complete to McGowan on a far sideline to bring up the second down, coming up on 2 minutes to go. And Virginia about to get into the win column for the 6th time and improve to 6-2 and 4-2 in the ACC. They were in second place by themselves in the Coastal Division behind Pitt. Pitt won today, an impressive victory over the Clemson Tigers. Scooting free is Sanders again before he's finally taken down after first down.
So here's what's interesting, Dave, just to kind of finish up on the talk of the recognition and the type of year Armstrong has been having. It's not like it's just one good game. He came into the game leading the country in passing.
That's right, not just the ACC, just plenty of good quarterbacks leading the entire country.
So you know, there's part of it. And by the way, you know, they've thrown 19 touchdown passes coming into the night. And so
4 more tonight.
Look, I've heard people talk about guys that haven't even played every game this season maybe being in the Heisman race.
Yeah, and I think you bring that up, and you know, a lot of people might smirk and say, wait a minute, you know, who have the Cavaliers played? Who's he piling up these numbers against? He's putting up numbers against some pretty good college football teams, and this one, a long pass into the end zone for the touchdown. He hits Norris for 6, a 37-yard chuck. And so the Yellow Jackets back on the scoreboard here with 1:16 to go. And make it 48-33.
And Norris just is able to get it on top of the coverage. A little bit of a double move, and Nick Grant falls for it and gets run past. But, you know, Dave, just on that point about, look, Brennan Armstrong doesn't control who they play. And by the way, we saw North Carolina and Sam Howell, an offense that is impressive, especially when they get rolling, really struggle against this Georgia Tech defense.
Sure.
So, I mean, the reality is at one point Sam Howell was a Heisman candidate.
Very much.
And the performance, you know, against Georgia Tech kind of put that to bed. Well, here's Brennan Armstrong against that same defense, just absolutely tearing them apart.
Head-to-head against a team that was in the top 25 at the time, talking about North Carolina and Sam Howell. Armstrong had one of the great days in college football all season long, and the fact of the matter is he is building those one on top of another. He did it again tonight, and to use a phrase like a Heisman Trophy candidate is not out of line for the season that he's having. We talked about the fact he's on the Manning watch list. That seemed to take half a season to occur. I'm not sure why, but it did.
And look, there's a lot of football left, and I think the tougher stretch of Virginia's schedule is probably ahead of them.
Georgia Tech, meanwhile, will attempt an onside kick. They lined up on one earlier, but boomed it long. In the end, that did not prevent Virginia from scoring again. They're going to knock that one down. A scramble for that. Georgia Tech winds up coming up with the football, but a flag is down. With 1:16 remaining, 48-34 Virginia. We have seen 1,151 total yards in this one. Georgia Tech also with 515 yards. Take a look at the onside kick.
You know, so what's interesting is Malachi Carter, does he possess the football there when that right foot goes out of bounds? Because his foot is out of bounds, and I think he's still touching that football. If you look at it right here. So he's got his hands on the football. Left foot down. I mean, is that possession? And then as he gets hit by Henry, the ball comes loose?
Ruling on the field is a free kick out of bounds. Ball be placed at the spot. First down.
Yeah,
so first down.
I think they've got to take a look at that.
Penalty. First down.
I only caught a bit of that, the last part of that message. But they will pick up a first down.
I think there's a lot of confusion here. The officials pointing the wrong direction for the first down. That's part of it. But I have to tell you, Malachi Carter has two hands on the football before he is ever out of bounds. And I think if you think that he's got possession of it because he's got a foot inbounds, so that's possession inbounds before he gets hit by Rashawn Henry.
Then they should have the football.
They should have the football. Carter's up at the top of the screen. It's an outstanding kick. They get a bounce. Boom, he's got the football, foot in, and then Henry hits him.
The ruling on the field is a free kick out of bounds. That play is under further review.
So they're going to take a look at possession here on the review. That is, in fact, what they're looking at.
Well, I think at a minimum, you've got to look at possession. And, you know, the question ends up being, is Carter's right foot out of bounds as he's touching the football but not possessing it? Now, the question is when he grabs that ball above his head, does he have possession of the football?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got the football and he's got a foot in bounds. So the question is that possession right there? Now, when that right foot touches out of bounds, it looks as if he's touching the ball. And if that is the case, then, you know, it's not a kick out of bounds at that point. It's just not possession. It would be Virginia's ball right there.
Left foot down, right foot. He's out there.
It all comes down to whether or not they think he possesses the football, if he's secured it, or if that ball is moving. And then quite honestly, if he's not touching it when his right foot is out of bounds, I think he can come back in and recover that, which he certainly did.
So trying to sort this out, he certainly believes that Georgia Tech should have possession. It went the requisite 10 yards.
I mean, whatever it is, it's not a kick out of bounds and a penalty. It's not that. Because the ball goes 10 yards and was touched before anything was out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
So the call on the field is incorrect. Now, the issue ends up being, was there possession?
So they try and sort this out. A lengthy delay here at the tail end of the game. But Georgia Tech hoping they have possession of the football and can claim they're still in it with 1:16 showing. Still taking a look.
Yeah, and listen, it's unlikely, but
let's see who gets the football here. Will the Yellow Jackets, in fact, wind up with possession of the football? I mean, from the angles that we have looked at, it would appear that the Yellow Jackets deserve to have it.
well, I think that you can say that that's possession if as soon as Carter's hands get on the football when it's above his head, after that big hop, that he's got the ball.
After further review, member of the kicking team caught the ball in the field of play first, then stepped out of bounds. It will be Georgia Tech's ball, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 15 seconds.
So after all that, a well-executed onside kick, they have the football.
And it's a two-score game still. And so now, look, with 3 timeouts left for Georgia Tech, the ball at midfield, you know, all that dancing that was going on, you know, you still need to play a little bit of football.
Well, we'll find out if that was a little premature. Sims dropping back. Will fire, and that's going to be incomplete. A flag down, should be interference there. You saw Anthony Johnson hopping up and down, but the flag thrown and a penalty coming with 1:11 to go.
Well, and Johnson basically tackles Malachi Carter.
Pass interference, defense number 3. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It's clearly P.I. He's got his hands all over him. It's back shoulder throw, and that right arm of Anthony Johnson just pulls Malachi Carter, and obviously the penalty because of the clock situation. Pretty good deal for Georgia Tech.
They'll move the football forward to the 36-yard line of Virginia. 1:11 to go, and Sims trying to work some magic as he rifles a pass, incomplete. That one caught by Adonicus Sanders, who had a 36-yard touchdown catch with about 51 seconds to go to beat Duke. That's an 8-yard pickup, and they will take a timeout.
Yeah, that's a good decision there on the timeout. I mean, here's what I think you need to do if you're Georgia Tech, and you see Dave Padno talking to his group. Look, I think get a first down and get out of bounds. If you can do that and save your timeouts, then I think you're in a situation where you're close enough that you can call plays that are getting design shots into the end zone. Because you do need to score quickly, because you need to do it twice. So you can't take forever trying to get that first touchdown. I'm sure that's part of what Dave Padno is explaining to his young quarterback is, all right, here's the situation. We've got 2 timeouts left. We need to pick up the first down here and hopefully get out of bounds, and then be in a situation where our next play can be a play where we're throwing it into the end zone. Well, potentially, if they come after him here, Dave, throwing it into the end zone right now.
Sims 22 for 36. He has been intercepted. On the move, heading toward the sideline, and tossed it away. 3rd down and 3 coming up now for the Yellow Jackets with 52 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think the same thing applies here in terms of what you want to do, and it did look like Sims wanted to work something to the boundary to his left to maybe pick it up, get the first down. I think he's probably going to have to work the field, because I believe he's going to end up getting off coverage up top.
Well, biggest call of the night for Sims and for Jeff Collins. Looking downfield on the run again. Throws over the middle and complete. He gets away for a moment. McGowan made a couple of extra yards, but picks up the first, a 15-yard gainer.
And you got to snap it quickly. If you're not going to use your timeout, you got to get the ball snapped if you're Georgia Tech.
35 seconds to play. Looking short again. Once again, it's going to be McGowan to the 5-yard line.
You got to use your timeout if you're Georgia Tech here. Yep, they do.
And they will. So 1st and goal with 27 seconds to go. You know, a lot of fans left a while ago here. They filed out of Scott Stadium.
Listen, they thought it was over. I mean, the hill is nearly empty, and this Parents' Weekend, I don't know if they were told to get to bed early, but we got quite a finish.
On the spot, 2nd down and 1. 27 seconds to go. Yeah, getting very, very interesting here down the stretch. The onside kick changed everything.
Changed everything, and here's the deal now. These throws have got to be quick to the end zone. You can't waste all kinds of time scrambling around, you know, looking for somebody open. It's got to kind of be, you know, catch and throw type plays. If you can, you know, you then end up saving your timeout. It gives yourself a chance if you can recover another onside kick.
Sims rolling right, fires for the end zone, and a touchdown. Caught by McGowan. A 5-yard touchdown grab. And the Yellow Jackets are still alive here in Charlottesville.
Yeah, and quite honestly, certain analytics will tell you to go for 2, and it's exactly what they're doing right now. Basically, in this situation, your percentages of winning the game prior to that touchdown aren't great. When you score, if you go for 2 here, now your percentages, if you do, you know, an extra point kicked, could end up winning the game if you get another opportunity.
Yellow Jackets looking for 2. 22 seconds. On the move, Harris. And Harris With that toss, Sims, the intended receiver.
It's Philly special again. It's the exact same play they ran before, just different formationally. As Sims comes out, now Sims is the receiver, and P.J. Harris just doesn't make the throw. They have it.
They certainly did. 22 seconds to go.
But here's why you do that just quickly. Look, it's still unlikely you're going to recover an onside kick and score. Now, if you do, you still have an opportunity to tie the football game with a 2-point conversion.
So Armstrong's work not done yet. 48-40. Armstrong has had one tremendous evening. And trying to get this one into the win column again, a 4th consecutive win for Virginia. But the Yellow Jackets able to stave that off, at least for the time being. Jude Kelly, who executed that previous onside kick to perfection. He'll try and do it again.
And you wonder if it's the same kick. Now, they nearly had success on an onside kick versus Clemson. They obviously did last time around, and you wonder if you're going to get the same exact kick you saw last time.
Exactly what they're trying, and how about that again? And they grab it once again on the onside kick. That was Thomas, Jahmyr Thomas, and Georgia Tech has the football with 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, Jahmyr Thomas, who had just a free run at this football. It's another beautiful kick, nice bounce, and you can't advance it, so it's dead right where Thomas ends up gaining possession.
Wow.
It's also kind of a poor job. Antonio Clary is standing there, and I think he probably needs to field that football, and he just lets it go by.
So Sims has a chance to get them downfield again. 1st down and 10. Running clock, dumps it off short to Mason. Mason scurries out with 12 seconds to play. Chased out by Elliott Brown. I'll say this, I haven't seen a better team in the country that executes an onside kick.
No, they're about as good as anyone. Every school's going to be visiting them in the offseason to figure out what they do. It's been kicked well. I think it's been received poorly. I do think you've got to take some shots. Check downs aren't going to work, obviously. Check down to Mason. I think in some ways that works against you.
And a stoppage will play with 12 seconds to go. And a timeout. On 2nd down and 3.
The previous play is under further review.
And what they're checking on, we're being told right now, is time and what to have on the clock. Right now showing 12 seconds. Well, what a finish in this one.
Well, what a finish is right, and this helps Georgia Tech.
Game clock to 13 seconds. 1-3.
They're going back to 13 seconds, so adding a second here. Now they're going to go to 14, we're being told.
Please reset the game clock to 14 seconds. 1-4.
Well, listen, that could be a valuable 2 seconds. Here's the other thing it did. It allowed Dave Patno. Remember, Jeff Sims has played a little bit, but he's still a learning quarterback, and so it allows Dave Patno to get in his ear, have a conversation with him about what he's looking to do, and it might be, hey, don't check it down, throw it away, so we don't get tackled in bounds.
Well, he's got a little extra time now. Sims to throw. Another completed pass here to Sanders. He gets out. That only took 4 seconds off the clock and gains 12 yards. They will move the chains. 1st and 10.
And Virginia decided to come after Sims a little bit there. Sims does a nice job of playing on time. And look, here's what I think. I think you got to play soft if you're Virginia. Keep things in front of you. 10 seconds. But they're playing more aggressively than I thought they would.
Fires that one for the sideline, but it's going to be broken up, tipped. That was tipped by Anthony Johnson on the coverage. The cornerbacks were down to 5 seconds.
There's a lot of hand fighting down there, and that's a nice play, getting his left hand in to knock it away by Johnson. And Look, outside the 30-yard line, it's hard to have plays where you're guaranteed to get it into the end zone, but I think with 5 seconds left, they're going to take a look at the defense, call a timeout, and figure out the best way.
Third and final timeout. Georgia Tech, 30 seconds.
So that's it. Virginia does have one remaining. Let's take a look back on how this comeback began.
Well, it's a long touchdown pass, and quite honestly, Dave, at that point, we're talking about Brennan Armstrong's Heisman candidacy, and then you get the onside kick, and then you get another touchdown throw, and then boom, another one, and you said it, nobody's better at the onside kick, and this thing's still not over. I mean, there's 5 seconds left. It's still unlikely score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion, but
it's also very unlikely we would be here.
Yes.
At 48-40 with 5 seconds to go and a chance at a Hail Mary. 2nd down 10. Jordan Mason will be in the backfield here with Sims. 3 wideouts stacked on that right side. Sims looking for some magic on the snap. Looking downfield. He's going to heave it toward the end zone. Batted down and incomplete as it goes to zeros and the game is over. Virginia hangs on to win it 48-40 in a wild finish tonight here in Charlottesville.
A wild finish is right, because Kyrick McGowan is almost in position to catch that ball as it's batted down by Joey Blunt. And you see Joey Blunt go ahead and bat this football down. Look at McGowan too. Really, if he would have stayed where he was, that ball was going to be batted right to him, which is exactly what you want. You want a guy on a goal line, guy on an end line, guy in the point in the middle. Good job of Sims of getting it up into the end zone under a little bit of pressure. Good job of fighting to the finish by Georgia Tech. And for Virginia, thank goodness they had number 5 at quarterback, because they put up 48.
Let's get out of Kelsey with Bronco.
Coach, a wild ending there, but you told us before this game that respect and national.
Going to hurt them. It's going to be interesting to see, does Pitt fall at all? Their loss, of course, coming out of conference. November 20th, though, circle the date. It's going to be fun to see that quarterback matchup.
It's like Brennan Armstrong knows defensively they're going to give up some, and he's got to be out there and be almost automatic when they have the football. And you know what? He has been that. How about BC and Louisville? Malik Cunningham and the Cards taking on Boston College. It was a rainy Saturday in Derby City. Maybe you get a little bit of a drive, get to Lexington, check out the Ponies in Keeneland. Cunningham early on, back to pass, can't find anybody, all good. A little bit of a trot into the end zone, 10 yards, and we're tied at 7. Cunningham, once again, back to pass. You can spy, you can do whatever you want. He's still going to make you miss. Can you take this guy down, EJ?
He's hard, man. He's slippery, he's agile, he's mean, and also he's fearless. When he sees pay dirt, he doesn't care. He's going to run up his own guy, getting a touchdown, man.
There's a lot of DIY quarterbacks in this conference. Malik Cunningham also at the top of that list. This time, he gives it to a teammate, Jalen Mitchell, who takes this one 5 yards for the score. Louisville extends their lead, 21-7. Then in the fourth, Louisville looking to put icing on the cake here. Cunningham, obviously the one who gets it done, takes it himself. His 3rd touchdown of the day, worth another look. You blink, and you'll find him in the painted area known as the end zone. Louisville rolls 28-14, winners over Boston College. Coach, it's a Louisville team that had suffered 2 close losses by a total of 4 points coming into this one. How they would fare in a fourth quarter and close it out, Malik Cunningham able to do that for them.
Right, they were so excited after that game to finally win it and close it out like we've been saying. Not a lot of passing in this game. I know it's kind of wet and dreary, but both quarterbacks threw for just over 100 yards, but the running game of Malik Cunningham was by far the biggest difference.
He's Mr. Do-It-All. He's Mr. Do-It-All for these guys. You know, every time the key, when you're playing Louisville, is going to be, can you contain Malik? And that answer has been no for quite some time now. But just to see him put the team on his back, go for 133 rushing yards, no negative. When you look at the gain versus the net, no negative plays. And that's so impressive, of course. Big offensive line, paving the way for him.
And we talked about the defense for Louisville before the game, saying can they answer the bell, can they get some stops? They created 2 turnovers at least through the air for Dennis Grosel, sacked him 3 times, so that obviously gave Louisville the edge as well.
331 rushing yards, coach, a season high for this Louisville team, and the first time Malik Cunningham's rushed for 3 touchdowns this season as well. So they did it on the ground, showed that they could do it, and defensively, the Cards held up in this one for a group that's been giving up a lot of points, found a way to tighten, allow their offense to do just enough to get it done at home. All right, so it's one thing to act it out. It's entirely different when you talk it going into a game. Tyler Van Dyke had some big-time words before his Canes took on a ranked Pac team. But would he be able to back those up? We discuss that next.
Come for the first rounders and the first timers. For the screamers and the dreamers. For the bright lights, the long nights, and the damn near frostbite. Come for the red zone, the end zone, handoffs, and one-handers, the tailgates, and the tunnels. For 3-time champs, and for a second time around. Come for more than the game. Come for it all.
The Solo Stove Bonfire is the hottest new reason to get outside. With its signature 360 airflow design, firewood gets just the right amount of oxygen. And since it's easy to light, it gets going fast. It's America's favorite smokeless fire pit for a reason. Bonfire is made for when those good moments become lasting memories. Save $10 using promo code TV10 at solostove.com.
If you're watching this, we know you're a fan. And we know why. Because of the heroes, villains, goats, the victories, dynasties, and Cinderella stories. And Cinderella stories, and Cinderella stories. What you're a fan of, there's more of. This is the Disney Bundle.
Help. Seriously, I'm too young for hair loss.
My hairline keeps creeping back. Receding?
I've got this bald spot.
It's thinning everywhere. Gonna have to give up and shave it.
Dude, put down the razor. Because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, is about to give you your real hair back permanently. Don't ignore the signs of hair loss. Bosley's giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals all the signs and a free gift card to any guy who texts SPLIT to 234-234. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Using the latest technology, Bosley's solution to hair loss is permanent and protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Plus, since Bosley has new non-surgical options, you owe it to yourself to text now for an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. No matter what level of hair loss you have, text SPLIT to 234-234. That's SPLIT to 234-234.
NC State has a great defense. Whether they like top something in the country, top whatever. I mean, that doesn't matter. It's still the same guys we played last year. We put up 44 points last year on them. They have a different type of wrinkles on the defense, but yeah, we feel really confident. I mean, if we just come out in the second half of both those games, you know, I don't think they can really stop us. So just got to start there.
Tyler Van Dyke, you're not supposed to say those things going against a ranked NC State team with that defense as you play host to them. You're a young guy getting started in your career, a lot to learn. Oh, wait, Van Dyke gets this one going to the end zone. Charleston Rambo brings it in for a touchdown. Canes' first drive, give them 6. They lead 7-0. Second quarter, Canes lead 7-3, 4th and 1 from the 47. More Tyler Van Dyke. EJ, he looked confident.
Excellent throw right here. An excellent play call, really getting Jalen Knighton out there, out-leveraging the linebacker, reading the weak, touchdown Miami.
Pack ain't about to lay down. Devin Leary hits the career leader in receptions for the Pack. Emeka Emezi move the chains. Later in the drive, Leary, Thayer Thomas, as he starts to spread this thing. And Emac, at this point, we thought, here come the Pack.
Right, they're building confidence, make a great play, really a basketball catch, go up and get it. But Miami just found a way, kept responding.
And here's more of the Pack moving. Leary hits Emezi this time, 46 yards and a first down to keep things alive. And just before the half, that same drive, Leary hits Thomas here, 27 yards for the touchdown there, Thomas. And NC State would lead at the half, 17-14. Corey Durden, check him out. He jumps off sides here on the field goal attempt, and it's first down Miami. The very next play, opportunistic, and TVD takes full advantage, finds his tight end, rolling right, Will Mallory, 5 yards. They take advantage of the mental lapse, and they lead 21-7. You got to play clean football on the road in conference. Later in the third, pack down 24-20. Trent Penix takes the snap, uses some blocks, and picks up 40 yards and the first down. A little trickery later in the drive. Devin Leary looking to capitalize, keeps it himself, and runs it in for the touchdown. Coach, he doesn't get enough respect, Devin Leary.
He doesn't. He's having a great season. He's taking care of the ball. He's a very accurate passer and an adequate runner, as you can see right here. So having a great season.
NC State up 27-24 at that point. But Van Dyke, he spoke it into existence. He said we're confident. He proved it on the field. Hits Rambo for a touchdown. Miami regains the lead 31-27. Pivotal part in the game, just under 3 minutes. 31-30. A fourth down, you need it, and they don't get it here, Emac.
You have to run an 8 to 9 yard route there. You're running a 5-yard route when you need 8. Makes 0 sense.
And now 3rd and 16, trying to keep it alive here. If they keep the drive, they seal the game. They do. Taylor McGregor with Tyler Van Dyke postgame.
Thank you, Tyler. Coach said the difference for you tonight was confidence. How were you able to harness that for all 4 quarters?
Yeah, you know, the last 2 games we came out slow. So this game we had to come out fast. You know, I have a lot of confidence in my teammates and O-line, receivers. They all made plays when they had to. So, yeah, we're just excited to get this win.
You had a big quote on Tuesday that really set the tone for this program. How would you describe the impact of that confidence in today's game?
Yeah. Coach Diaz used that to rally around us. Yeah, we got to keep rolling. Use that confidence to keep thugging out the season. So.
Knocking off a number 18 NC State team. What does that tell you about the ceiling of your Miami team?
Yeah, we have a really good team. Last 2 games, unfortunate ending. But yeah, we have a lot of confidence in the team, and yeah, we're not done yet. So.
Next week, you have a really good Pitt team ahead of you. What do you need to carry over from today's game to beat them?
Just the confidence. The same thing on offense we did tonight. We still could do a lot of things better. But if we come together as a team like that, yeah, we'll be good. So.
Appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Look, let's just be honest. Pregame coming into today, this was an underclassman playing for a team that's underachieved, going against an NC State Wolfpack defense who had the top scoring defense, or excuse me, total defense in the conference. It didn't seem like a good look for TVD to be talking like that. But he backed it up today, yeah. Eric. What did you see from him that was the difference?
Confidence from the get-go, and really play calling from the get-go. It was unbelievable to see the shots downfield. Instead of just dink and dumps and let's feel it out running, they were aggressive. And I thought that really played, to Van Dyke's skill set and what they're able to do. Clearly, he's a very confident young man. Take those shots early and often. It paid off, Coach.
Speaking of taking shots, I was taking a shot at the kid making that quote, thinking – you're making a big mistake.
All of us did.
But the guy, you know what that looked like? It looked like swag, real swag.
Yeah. They like that down in Miami, don't
they? Oh, they're gonna love it. Those fans are gonna love that, and his teammates are gonna love it. When you talk smack and back it up, that's a big deal down there.
Yeah, and the playmakers around him made plays. So Rambo, 9 catches, 9 targets. Knighton, 6 catches, 6 targets. Smith, 4 catches, 4 targets. So those, you talk about guys making the catches.
Right, they caught the ball, baby.
Caught the ball, man, and the defense obviously tackled well enough to give them more stops and more opportunities on offense.
Without question, this is a letdown for a Pac team that is in the hunt in the Atlantic, playing for a lot, trying to move up the charts, and just laid an egg here in Miami.
Understand that this is a crazy year. Crazy things can happen. Do not just throw away your season. We're going to really find out about NC State moving forward. Who do you want to be? Who can you be? It's just one conference loss. You still, I think, control a lot of things in front of you. Play Wake Forest, and you've already got that win over Clemson.
Yeah. No, I think also, too, I think those teams that want to be NC State, they need them to continue to win, right? So you talk about Pitt, you talk about Wake Forest, the teams that are kind of ahead. If they still have NC State on their schedule, they need them to win games, so they still have those games to add to their resume.
Just when you think you have this conference pegged, a little bit more chaos, which leads us to Syracuse and Virginia Tech in Lane Stadium. Garrett Schrader and the Orange taking on the Hokies in Blacksburg, looking to snap a 10-game ACC losing streak early on. You want to right that wrong? Give it to Sean Tucker, one of the best in the country at the running back position, Coach.
He's sweet. No Sean Moreno reborn. This guy's unbelievable. He's got speed, agility, and he's got a lot of guts too.
High praise, no Sean Moreno comparison there. He goes over 1,000-yard rushing plateau on the season with that one. Q signs the game at 7. Garrett Schrader calls his own number, 9 yards. VT would block the extra point, return it for 2 points. Hokies lead 16-13. But here comes Schrader once again, using his feet, more confident there than throwing at this point in the season. 28 yards for the touchdown. Q's take a 2019 lead on Schrader's second touchdown of the day. Malachi Thomas with a clapback, 2 yards for the touchdown. VT back on top, 26-20. Then in the fourth, Syracuse driving in Virginia territory. Schrader takes it himself for the 3-yard score, completes the hat trick of rushing touchdowns. Q's takes a 1-point lead. A lot of action and fast. Malachi Thomas, 47 yards for the touchdown. ESPN win probability gave the Hokies a 95% chance to win after that score. VT with a 9-point lead, but here comes Schrader. A deep ball to Damian Alford, EMAC. What a play.
Yeah, just to have the guts to stay in there, take a shot, and then walk it off for the touchdown to win the game. Unbelievable.
19 seconds remaining. He delivers that one, taking the shot. Syracuse goes on to win 41-36. More heartbreak in Lane Stadium. And for a Syracuse team, it's had their share of tough losses. They get over the hump to improve to 500. UMass and Florida State. We expected this one to be heavily in Florida State's favor, and like a maturing group, they took care of business. Seeking their first 3-game win streak since 2017, Jordan Travis, 3 yards for the touchdown. Florida State 7-3. Ja'Shawn Corbett, 29 yards on the ground. He has emerged as a star, EJ.
Yeah, he certainly has. This guy continues to make plays every single week. Just another great run right there, taking him to the house.
How about some defense getting involved here? Brady Olson's pass intercepted. I don't know about Jarvis Brownlee, but I know Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is nice with it. Take it to the end zone for the pick six. Beautiful defense. No eye violation there, EJ, as he gets that one
and
to the crib.
3. I love it.
Hey, special. The number 3s for the Noles are special. Florida State wins big, 59-3. You talk about giving your season a facelift, a glow up, if you will. No team in a conference has started, in conference history, has started 0-4, then rattled off 3 consecutive wins. Until now with these Seminoles, look at the points, how the offense is thriving, look at the points per game differential, and those turnovers, EJ, you said if you take care of the football, you give yourself a chance. 9 less in the last 3 games. Impressive stuff from a buy-in in that group with Coach Norvell. Pickett for Heisman? Yeah, why not after what he did today? We dive into what makes him special next.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
With Bonfire, you can easily fundraise by selling custom shirts online. Upload your artwork or create a design right on our website. In these unique times, you can still make a difference. Fundraise with custom shirts today on bonfire.com.
This is my wallet before, and this is my Ridge wallet.
It's smaller, lighter, and a lot more convenient than my old leather wallet.
And helps me get rid of all the junk that I've collected over the years.
The Ridge is a huge upgrade. Get your Ridge wallet at ridge.com.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want, with all the entertainment you love, for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
With the Game Time app, I got the superstar moment for 60% less than this guy.
That's a lot less.
Game Time finds you the best seats and guarantees the lowest price.
You might say a great deal just fell into your lap.
Don't say that. Download Game Time now.
Hulu has live TV? Hulu has live sports?
Well, yes. Hulu does have live sports.
Time's up. I need your answer now.
Hulu has live game shows.
Correct. Hulu also has...
Hulu Hulu has live dating shows.
With over 75 live channels.
I choose Hulu. Woo! Hulu.
Flip like cable, stream like Hulu. Time to have Hulu plus live TV.
Pitt the favorite versus Clemson, and they showed why in this one. Clemson's first double-figure loss since 2014. The boys in the booth, Todd Blackledge and Sean McDonough, with their reaction to the Pitt win 27-17 today.
The celebration in Pittsburgh, a statement win, as Pat Narduzzi called it, for the Pitt football program as they defeat Clemson 27-17. Kenny Pickett, 25 for 39 passing for 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also some runs at the end of the game on key third downs as they put the game away. He was impressive, and it's a huge win for this program.
It really was. I mean, we knew, we felt the energy. We felt this was a chance to have a signature win, and it was going to have to be Kenny Pickett leading the way. And he did early, throwing the football, a couple beautiful touchdowns, one to Jordan Addison, the second one to Taysir Mack. They put the ball in his hands to find matchups in the pass game. Then at the end of the game, they put it in his hands to run and convert third downs. Held the ball for over 4 minutes to finish the game. And a signature win and a signature performance by Kenny Pickett, who has played beautifully all season. Now I think this win and the way he played on this stage, he's got to be considered one of the top guys for Heisman contention.
No question. In Las Vegas, he was 22-1 entering this weekend. Certainly, he helped himself a lot, made history too. Over the last 15 seasons, only 3 ACC quarterbacks have passed for multiple touchdowns in each of a season's first 7 games. Pickett has done it now. Jameis Winston back in 2013, Sam Howell for North Carolina in 2019. He has now thrown 23 touchdown passes this year and one interception. Those sound like Heisman Trophy numbers to me.
Yeah. And now the thing that Kenny Pickett's going to have to make sure his team stays on course, you know, because they had a letdown after they beat Tennessee and lost to Western Michigan. They've got a lot in front of them right now, you know, still ahead. But every game from here on out, they're going to have a bigger bullseye on their back. Teams are going to want to knock them out. They're going to be the favored team. They're going to be the ranked team. So the rest of their ACC schedule, they've got to stay on point.
Well, Pat Narduzzi told our Molly McGrath after the game that last night he gave every player on the team a gold pen because it was going to be a signature win, and they celebrated heartily in their locker room after the victory. Clemson now with more than 1 loss in a regular season for the first time since 2014, and they have 3 losses now at 4-3.
So you heard from Todd first, the Heisman campaign. EJ, let's get it ramped up for Kenny Pickett. Had a tremendous performance against the best defense he's going to see all year. Walk me through this play right here, E.
Yeah, Pickett for Heisman for sure right here, E-Mac. Now, I just want to highlight the look from the DBs right here, okay? So naturally, I'm thinking maybe it's double-A mug here. 2 guys are going to be on the blitz, but you're going to see the DB right here. He's peeking in. Safety's there. Safety's low. Now, these 2 safeties too, E-Mac, both at 8 yards depth. A low safety right there, and then a press corner. So I'm thinking maybe blitz, some type of pressure.
Yeah, and I love to see that. And what you're thinking is exactly right. As you can see, these linebackers are screaming right now. They're coming. We're bringing pressure. And what you're going to see when you go a little bit further is, okay, they bring those games inside. Now we have our spy that's going to be on Kenny Pickett. We know how mobile he is, but that leaves man-to-man in the back end. As the quarterback, you've already seen that. Now we've got that secondary. They're in a little bit of a flux here from the receivers.
Yeah, absolutely, E-Mac. And again, you're going to have a 2-way goal in this safety. And then you said this guy's a younger player right here. So really, if you have a tight split starting in this spot, you can run a corner route, going high, back pylon throw for Kenny Pickett, or you give a look to the corner, boop, come right back inside because you got that low safety right there. He's beat by linemen.
A really good job here again, a young player. This is a true freshman going against a 100th-year quarterback who's playing really well and against a very experienced receiver. This is what happens. And Kenny does a great job staying calm, seeing all that in front of him, and that's exactly what you get. Now, how about the Pitt defense with what they are able to do here? Really just running a little bit of a pitch play. What's DJ have to do here to prevent this?
Yeah, on any type of shovel pass, any type of option pitch to any type of running back receiver, you have to see the pitch. I was always taught that, even back to Little League. Now, yes, this is a hard look for DJ here because Savasier Dennis is going to come in, knife through, and try to make a play right here, and I'm going to pause it right before it.
So he has that there. He sees right now, okay, probably not good. What I would have loved to seen from the offensive line, E, is right here. We saw this guard let that go. He's got to, I'd almost rather have a holding penalty, clearly, in hindsight, when you see the touchdown, but he crosses his face. You cannot let that happen. Servassier Dennis says, I'll take that. I'm going to take it to the crib, and then I'm going to give it to my mama after I score the touchdown. It was a fantastic play that honestly changed the game.
Yeah, a huge play. Obviously on defense, they're making it, but on offense, Kenny Pickett made a bunch of plays. Let's hear what he had to say.
After your last two performances against Clemson, how bad did you want this?
More than anything, I had this one circled when I came back. Our team played unbelievable. Our defense played great. That was one of the best plays I've ever seen by Servassier Dennis, so it's a great team win.
You won this game without two of your best skill players in Israel Abanikanda and Jordan Addison. What was your mentality down the stretch without them?
Rodney had fresh legs, and that was something that I think we were holding him for. He came in, did a heck of a job, a true freshman coming in this kind of stage, so, hats off to him.
You said this would be a statement win for your program. What will this do for this Pitt program?
What does this mean?
Yeah, what does this mean for you guys?
It won't mean anything if we don't handle business these next couple of weeks, so, we're really going to enjoy this one. I'm going to go have a cold one, and then we'll get ready for Miami.
You hardly see a quarterback this dirty after a win. How's your body feeling?